look forward to your comments. We're also asking that if you have any questions, leave them in the comment box as well so that we can answer your questions. And we'd love you to just do a shout out and let us know where you're from. So wherever you are in the country, just say hello and let us know the country that you're calling from, you're visiting from, I should say. If you haven't heard, we just released our brand new Amazing Accelerators program that is specifically designed and built for existing sellers who want to increase their profits. So if you're feeling stuck at all in your business, I tell you right now, you want to check out Amazing Accelerators. We're going to talk about that more in a minute, but if you want to check out AmazingAccelerators.com, the doors close tonight. So you're going to want to check it out. If you're an existing seller on Amazon and you really want to get your business to that next level, get more sales, build an established business that you can potentially sell for a great return, then check it out. But more on that later. We're going to get right into the training. So Isaac, if you could take away from me.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Thanks, Jason. So yeah, just as Jason was saying, we want to take you guys through the process that we help develop and have individual knowledge of somebody who's actually taken this training and this exact technique and has guaranteed himself sales and reviews on Amazon for any new product and any existing product that he will launch in the future or even currently. So what we're talking about really is the technique is basically using Facebook and ManyChat to build a list of your own brand followers. So that way you can leverage them every time you have a product that you either need to launch or relaunch, or just get some more reviews on it. And in order to go through the full process, we want to take you through three things. Number one, 4 reasons why you want to build this audience in the first place. And we'll talk about exactly how to use this audience. Then we're going to talk about the best ways to actually build the audience. So that way you can do exactly what this seller that we know has done as well. And then we're going to talk about the best ways to leverage an audience to get sales and reviews ongoing. So Kirsty, basically we go through this with a lot of different people that we work with as far as members go. And we have a couple of members with us today as well. But the main reasons we build an audience is so that way we can use them time and time and time again to help us get sales and reviews on Amazon. So if you're, struggling to get sales from, new sales or, you're launching a new product, you just don't know how to do that and get any sort of ranking or velocity or visibility on Amazon. This is one of the reasons why we actually create this audience in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. And I think one of the core problems that people feel is a problem for them is that once you sell something on Amazon, you actually don't know who that customer is, right? So you might actually get, maybe some correspondence from them, but usually it's because there's a problem, right? And so you don't want to start off on the foot just building a customer base where you're just solving problems. So what we want to be able to do is, as sellers, is actually become marketers, right? So rather than thinking of yourself as an Amazon seller, you are actually a marketer and a CEO of your business. And by building your own audience, it means that you can then start to actually interact with that audience. They can understand you a lot better. You understand them because they are your clients. And then also you can have it like on demand, right? So you can have sales on demand. And you know that they want to actually buy your products because the way that we're going to teach you how to do it is that you're actually targeting people that want that is your ideal client for your brand and for your products. And that what that also means is that you can then send very, very relevant traffic to your listing. And then obviously your listing is going to be awesome. And we went through that the other day. And so then they're going to convert, right? And so number one, you're going to own the audience. And number two, is going to be very, very relevant traffic that you can like call up on demand to either, boost your sales, launch a product. And as you said, also get reviews from those purchases as well, which is another key pain point for most Amazon sellers out there.
Yeah. And one of the best things is it's not just going to be any old review. These people will be identifying with you. They'll appreciate what you're doing for them, giving them a reduced price product, to kind of try to give them some sort of favor. So they're going to return the favor to you and give you good reviews, and not just like, hey, it's a 5-star review, but they'll actually usually go out of their way to write longer, more detailed reviews to explain exactly what problems are being solved by your product, the benefits of having the product, and they're going to explain it like a customer would explain it. So you're going to get some really good reviews, and that's just something that in general is always great for your indexing and your ranking and your a conversion on Amazon, because in reality, if other customers are talking to customers, that's the best case scenario, because that social proof is massive on Amazon. And so, getting that visibility through the launch process and then getting the reviews long-term ongoing, that'll help spread the word about your products, your company, and they'll actually turn around to their friends and say, hey, I started, buying products or getting products from this company, and they're really, really good. So now they've turned around and become an ambassador for your brand, which basically multiplies your kind of marketing message without you having to do much of anything after that. So if you have, imagine like you have a megaphone and you can yell really loud from the top of a building, and you can blast that message. Well, if one person hears it and likes it, then they pretend, theoretically get on top of a building and megaphone blast that to another 10, 20, 30 people. So that's exactly what they're doing. They're becoming a brand ambassador, and they're just amplifying your message to the rest of your potential customers online, which is awesome for you.
Yeah. And I think another interesting way that people view this is that they feel like it's a lot of work, right? So they feel like, I've heard it's really hard to like build your own audience and keep them engaged. But that's what we're going to talk about today, is actually using a couple of tools and using a platform that everybody knows and loves. Everybody's on there. And for me, being a complete Luddite when it comes to any kind of tech, I can use it, right? So I'm just telling you, if I can use it, anybody can use it. It just means that you just need to think a little bit differently about, how you engage with people. But really, from a tech perspective, it's a way easier than trying to build a massive email list and all this other stuff, right? Which I've tried to do as well. So that's the one thing I love about what we're going to talk about today, is the fact that it's pretty easy to set up, and it's also then pretty easy to outsource it to someone else if you don't want to continue just like doing it all yourself. But it's really good to do it yourself first, because then you understand, how it works, what things work and what things don't work as well. So you need to also put a bit of love into this, because the payoff is going to be way higher than the work that you put in up front.
Yeah. And to just kind of give you an idea of what this is, and we'll talk about the specifics here in a second, but essentially you're building an automated message system that anytime somebody connects with you, so say they message you or click learn more on an ad, they get this sweeping message that comes in automatically that you created, that's, full of, like what you say, full of love and full of, engaging messaging, because you wrote it and you wrote it from your heart. But in the end, you don't have to keep saying it over and over and over to everybody. It's like a copy and paste automatic format, but it just launches as soon as they click on this button and they get this message. And that helps you take away all of that time that you would have spent replying to individual messages. Now, at some point, I'm not saying you want to automate all the customer service in your business, because you do want to connect with your audience, but this is a way to get them at least engaged with you to start. And then you can take that conversation deeper from there. So that's what we really want you guys to understand, is not only will these people help spread the word about you, but they also usually buy multiple times from you as well. So now the 4 reasons to build out audience are to get them to buy your products to help you launch, so get visibility, to get you favorable reviews. Then they'll also turn around and be an ambassador for you and spread the word about your company and products. And then they can also buy multiple times. So those 4 things are a massive reason why you want people to be on a list and be part of your following or your audience, because those people can help you time and time and time again. And if you ever try to sell your business, this becomes a major asset for your business to have a following, because that essentially means that anybody who would buy your business would have a built-in way to start selling and launching other products or cross-promoting other products that they have with your branding now. So it becomes a massive asset later on if you ever intend to sell your business as well. So that's like a bonus 5th reason why you want to build an audience as well.
Yeah. And we know this one seller, right? And because, he spent, time developing this process, and now the amount of confidence that he's got when he's actually launching anything, or like you say, like boosting his products, getting reviews, all that kind of like worry and pain and stuff that we all go through as sellers, it's taken away because he's already got that audience ready to go. And that's a major competitive advantage versus a lot of people out there. Another key thing is we all worry about, hackers and, other sellers from overseas, let's just call it that might just have an automated way of just putting products on Amazon. And we all worry about that stuff. But do you think these guys are going to invest in this audience? No way. They're just going to still keep going for the hack. So it does give you a big, big competitive advantage as well. So that's why it's worth investing your time and your effort in building this audience.
Yeah. So let's kind of get into the details of this and exactly how this one seller, we won't name him by name, but we'll just call him Seller
Mr.
X.
J.
Yeah, Mr. J. But let's talk about how he actually grew this audience. And the best way that we found to do this, it's kind of a multi-prong approach, but it's quite simple to set up. And the reason why we do this is because it takes the least amount of quote unquote skill. It just takes a little bit of effort. So Laney's asking, how do we set that up? So exactly what we're going to talk about now. So the first step, now you can write this down. Now, we're not going to give you like every single tiny step along the way, but we'll give you the overview steps. That way you can actually build this yourself, like today, if you wanted to start it. So what you're going to do is the number one first step is you're going to create a Facebook brand page. And what that means is there's ways to build page, like following pages, whatever you want to call them, community pages on Facebook. So that way you can put your brand out there. So say your name is Brand X, supplies or whatever. You're going to create a Brand X supplies brand page on Facebook. You're going to grow that following. And you can actually do this by posting engaging content to a community around who your ideal client and your purchases and your products and who would use your products, all that kind of stuff. And then you would engage them. And then you would start to basically boost that page to promote it, to get more likes, to build up that followership. And then you can connect it to ManyChat. So that's ManyChat, ManyChat. So you connect that page, that brand page, to ManyChat. And then the best way, so this is the hot strategy, right? So this is something that I've done. I know you've done it, Kirsty. I know that Seller X, Mr. J, has done this as well. And this is the best way to grow this thing on autopilot. And that's, you're going to run a ManyChat ad for a contest to win some of your products. So say you can get, 3-4 of your products together, and say the suggested value is like $50 or $60 or $70 of your own products. You would put an ad out from ManyChat to Facebook, because ManyChat is linked to Facebook. And you would basically make a little video or a slideshow or even a static image. You could try it out. And you would say, basically, win this prize pack, enter to win, I should say, not win this, because as soon as they click the button, they think that they've won. But you'd say enter to win this prize pack worth $50 or $60 or whatever from Brand X supplies. And here's why you want this. And then you kind of explain the benefit of why they want it. And then you explain what it is. And then you say, click this button to enter to win. And I've actually grown my ManyChat audience by something like 600% since I started doing this. This one thing has helped me personally grow my subscriber list by 600% in about 3 or 4 months from memory. Yeah, I think since April-ish. So that's massive, 600% in 3 or 4 months. Now I have a list of subscribed, engaged people who not only want my products, in this instance for free, but they will actually engage with me because they like what they see and they're already on my brand page. So I'm really just kind of, getting them to engage with me even more. So this is something that, we highly encourage you guys to do, because they keep coming. I don't have to do anything. And every single day I get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more followers, and I'm not doing anything. That thing is just continuously running. And then basically I just pick a name and say, look, you've won this month. Here's how to claim your prizes, and then do it again the next month. So that's what I do on an ongoing basis. And I know that's what Seller X, AKA Mr. J, does as well.
Yeah, exactly. And, this can grow very, very quickly. Like you said, Isaac, I mean, I got to like 2,500 subscribers in 3 weeks just by running this. And the key part is to actually, as Isaac said, is use your own products if you can, because I also tried something else where I actually gave away something that was related to my niche. It wasn't my product, but it was something that was sought after, right? So people wanted it. But the problem with that is you're probably going to get contest junkies because they want to win that thing. And then when it comes for you to actually market your products, they don't really understand what your brand is. And so they're most likely not going to take up the offer. That's pretty much what happened to me. But as soon as
an irrelevant offer, essentially. It's like giving away an iPad and you sell baby products. It's like not really the same thing.
Even though it was still relevant. I mean, I didn't go that far, but it was like a relevant niche, but it wasn't my product. Yeah. So by doing the price pack, that's awesome, because they get to understand, exactly what you sell. And even if you don't have a lot of products, if you've got 2 products, just do 2. If you've got 1 product, just do 1 product, because then what you want to do is you can run an ad just for 1 product. And if they don't win, then you can say, hey, you didn't win, but would you like a discount off this product? We know you like it. So go for, say, 50% off on this, and then you can boost sales that way as well. And it's a great way to launch a product too. So that's another thing that we do, is run the same ad, do it for the product that you actually want to launch. And then you can, if they don't win, funnily enough, then you can run like a good promotional discount for when you launch. So that would be like the launch strategy that you would use to do it as well.
Yeah. And I just want to reiterate, this runs all the time and you don't have to do anything once you set it up. So once you set it up, I mean, you can change the ad here or there, or you can change the product and the prize pack, and it just keeps running. So you just have a continuous ad going. And for like, maybe, I don't know, I think I'm around like 90 cents now, but it used to be actually as low as 70, like 71 cents, but like it'll fluctuate, and you can change the ad, you can change the prize pack, and you'll just get subscribers coming in, entering to win. And as soon as you have something to launch, now you do want to engage them at least once a month to kind of try to keep them active. So you might do a survey, say, hey, for my next product, would you guys like product A or product B, just to kind of keep them engaged, but don't go crazy. Don't try to spam them every week or even every day, nothing like that. Just once or twice a month at most is all you need to send out. And the really good thing is about one good way to keep them engaged is to announce the winner to everybody. So that's automatically one thing you have to do every month, is say, hey, look, this guy's won. He's going to win this prize pack. You could be next month. Just stay subscribed to this list and you will be automatically entered to win. Is exactly what I put in my wording. So the other thing that we talk about now, Kirsty, is, so that's subset number one. So that's one of the best ways to do it. Now, another thing we've been doing lately is using Instagram influencers to leverage someone else's audience. So you don't have to become an Instagram star yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So really, it's about finding not the kind of top influencers, right? So you don't really want to go for Kim Kardashian right now. You want to go for someone who is in your niche, who is probably around 5,000 followers, 5,000 to 10,000 followers. And you can slowly start to build up a kind of list, if you like, of people that are willing to promote your products over and over and over again. And ideally what you want to do is start to build a relationship with them. Then in the future, you can even start to build out full on like long promotions with them as well, right? So one thing that we're looking to do in terms of being able to get ready for Christmas, say, is actually build up a list of influencers now, build up a relationship with them, and then have a promotional plan with those influencers over Christmas to drive, traffic to your Amazon listing, to drive, small discounts, but enough to get them engaged. And even Amazon now have actually got an Amazon influencer platform, which allows influencers to essentially get, more commission on their sales. So it's in their interest that they want to sell Amazon products. It's in our interest because they've built their audience. And just think of it this way, we're just trying to leverage what other people are actually doing, because they're putting all the time and the effort into actually getting the following. And what we want to do, we're putting all our time and effort into bringing them the right products. So it's like an awesome marriage, if you like. So yeah, you can definitely amplify that way. So if you're like, I don't have enough time to set up my ManyChat, just think about, leveraging other people's audiences as well.
Yeah. And just wanted to take a question from Rob over here. Good to see you, Rob. I know that you've been on quite a few of these and I think even a couple of the webinars. So good to see you here. He says, how many followers do you suggest before you run a competition? So in this scenario, you actually don't need any followers because you actually get the followers from the contest itself, which is great. So you're not running it to your own list. You're running it to a kind of a cold audience, really. I mean, it's cold, but it's targeted. So it's, you understand that they have the interest, but you don't even know them yet, because it doesn't have to be to your own page. It could be to, just in general, some audiences, some interested targets on Facebook. And that's exactly how I did. I think I had like 60 people, and I was like, okay, well, or maybe it's like 120 or something like that. But I was like, I got to get this thing growing. So I'm going to put, $5 a day on it for now and see how it works. And then I was like, okay, well, let me try 20 a day. And then I was like, okay, well, 20, it was kind of spending too much. Then I was like, okay, well, let's go down to 5. And you can just strategize and test that out. And it works pretty well as long as you have the targeting right and your ad looks good enough and your offer, your prize pack is worth entering for. So you get an incentive in that bait and they'll join.
So the only reason you set up your Facebook page, really, because this is maybe where people might get confused, right? So, well, why do I do the Facebook page then? The only reason you set up the Facebook page is so you can run the ad. That's literally the only reason. And you can connect ManyChat to the page. Yeah. So you don't need to worry right now about building up a massive audience on Facebook. Think of Facebook as it's kind of the vehicle, right? So you set up the Facebook page. you connect ManyChat to it, which is where all the messaging is going to go. And then you're going to set up an ad that you can actually set up within ManyChat. And it's going to look like it comes from your page. Basically, that's how it looks to the customer. They see it in the feed. They go, oh, that looks cool. I want to win that thing. And then it goes straight to your ManyChat list. And that's how they get onto your list. So if there was also a question maybe around, how many would you need to run not a contest, but run like an offer? We like to go between around 500 to 1,000 subscribers. That's probably when it's good, right? That's when you've got like a good base to work from.
You really got to think about like, what do you want? So like if you're trying to do like 250% off codes, okay, well, 200 codes, you might get like a 30% redemption rate, right? So just think like if I want 200 codes and 30% redemption rate, I probably need around 600 subscribers. So you can kind of reverse engineer that to estimate based on, what your offer might be and just kind of ballparking your conversion rate. And because that's Messenger, it's not email, you're going to get a much higher conversion rate than like 1 or 2% click-through rate. So that's really cool. And that's why we use Facebook Messenger, because it is so much more converting. And you don't need 20,000 people on an email list. You only need, 500, 1,000, maybe 2,000 people that are engaged. And that's pretty much your solid audience that you can use over and over and over again.
Yeah. Some people might be wondering, well, what does it look like? Maybe a lot of you already have come through the Amazing.com's Messenger. You probably just didn't realize it. So if you've got a message from Amazing.com and it was on your Facebook Messenger, that is using something like Facebook Messenger with ManyChat. And the way that that's set up, where you've got multiple choice of how to, click the option that you want, that's exactly how you're going to set up yours to your audience.
Yeah. And Jason, do they actually get messages through Amazing?
Yep. I get them every day.
Yeah. So it's very cool. And I mean, it's not so like impersonal, because even if it's automated, it still has the messaging that a human being wrote, and it just gives them like this really easy flow. So it's kind of like, it's just a bad example, but you know how when you call a bank and they're like, stick through this automated service, like press all these buttons. It's not like that. It's actually much more personal. You can put like jokes in there. You can put like GIFs in there, or GIFs, as some of you guys would say, even though it's incorrect. It's okay. It's okay if you mispronounce it. It's fine. But yeah, so those are the things that you can do in there, and it's a lot more fun. It's a lot more engaging. And that's how you move this business into kind of an automated growth cycle. So, yeah. And then Jason, did you have anything you wanted to add there?
I did. So, one of the cool things with ManyChat, which is, it's kind of the direction that things are going. Apple is actually looking at optimizing their messages. So iMessage, for example, soon will be able to be like Facebook Messenger, where you'll be able to communicate with people and send promotions and engage with them that way too. And so if you're not using ManyChat yet, if you're not using at least Facebook Messenger, it doesn't have to be ManyChat, that's just a tool that we use. You really want to start learning that now, because, comparatively right now for us, email is still the most dominant. However, that is switching. The younger generation doesn't use emails as much. The end of the day, what the point here is, build an audience that you can engage with. And if you're not building an audience, then what's happening is you're relying on one-time sales all the time. And the big thing too is getting that, I know for Amazon Prime Day, which, in another 30 minutes, we're going to be talking about that topic. Being able to have our ManyChat list, where we actually ran a contest, helped us get way better results this year than last year. So it's not just about launching new products and running promotions, being able to take advantage of huge things like Prime Day, where we were able to get some massive velocity that we're still riding a wave on right now. So it's just, yeah. And the big thing is, a lot of people sit there, oh, I know how to build a list, but how do I use it? It's, because it's one thing to build a list, but it's actually, that's useless if you're not using it properly. So that's a big thing. And don't sit there and say, oh, I only have a silicone spatula, how can I use it? That's just being lazy. And I don't mean that rude. I mean that seriously. You're not thinking, you're not looking, you're not putting yourself in you're focusing on what's the purpose of what I'm trying to do and growing it that way. So I just wanted to really add that to really drive home the point. I mean, an audience is what has allowed me to generate millions of dollars. And I couldn't have done it without it, whether it be in any business that I have. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a perfect segue, because the next thing we're going to talk about is how to leverage the audience once you have it. So that's a great little
almost like rehearsing.
Yeah, transition there. So yeah, and exactly like you said. So, obviously when you're launching products, you can give them like a 50, 60, 70% discount, say, hey, go get this product. So that way you can get some ranking and some visibility on Amazon. So that's great launch technique. Another thing, like you just said, so like during promotions, you can do flash sales for 50% off or 40% off existing products to help spur keyword rankings. That's called like a relaunch or a flash sale or, pulse promotion, whatever you want to call it. But it's going to help you boost yourself up. And then the way that we do it now, there's a lot of people out there that want to get really, really automated and just, send them like a link that brings them to their page. And I can tell you that overall, anytime you use a link, it really is giving Amazon a footprint to come track you down and figure out what you're doing. So don't just give them a link and don't be lazy about that part. What you want to do is you actually want to give them search, find, and buy instructions to actually go search for your product. Now, there's going to be lots of different ways that you can do this. Maybe you're not being found on Amazon. So here's a hot tip. If you want to get a little bit of ranking, you can put your main keyword in there and then put the brand at the end. So go to Amazon.com, search, silicone spatula, and then the brand X supplies. So silicone spatula, brand X supplies. Go search that on Amazon and click our product and buy it, and then use this promo code. So essentially, if you can get them to do that, you can actually get some juice on the main keyword to start. And then once you get, maybe page 5 or 6, you can actually have them just search the main keyword without your brand name and move that even further up. So that's really a great tip that a lot of people still don't use. They would rather just be lazy and use a link, which sometimes not only doesn't work as well as they expected, but it'll actually get them in trouble because Amazon will say, hey, look, you're manipulating the ranking system by using these links. And that's something that we don't want for you guys, because we know people who have been shut down for doing that exact same thing. So using search, find, buy is not only the most effective, because it really is, I don't want to say imitating a buy on Amazon. It is a buy on Amazon. It's exactly how somebody would purchase on Amazon. So you're replicating it. You're not imitating it. So hopefully that makes sense.
And then, as Jason said, really think about how else you can amplify certain periods of the year, right? So certain selling periods. So as Jason said, about Prime Day, if you've got lightning deals running as well, you can amplify that lightning deal. And that's something that we do. So you can essentially run that to your list, say, hey, there's going to be an awesome deal coming up, and it's going to be within the next, it's going to be on this date, and it's within these hours, because it literally is within those hours, right? And then you can have the scarcity scarcity message going just before it goes live, and then halfway through as well. And that's awesome to really amplify your deals. And then also, obviously, at Christmas time, so Black Friday, Cyber Monday, if your products are good for the summer, if your products are good for Father's Day, Mother's Day, all that cool stuff, you can start to build out an awesome promotional plan and actually get it all set up. You can batch this stuff out, right? You can, if you plan ahead, which is what we're all about, plan ahead, batch it all up, and you can have an awesome promotional plan to your list. It's not just for launching.
Yeah, and I'm just seeing a question here that's saying, I'm collecting emails by registering the product warranty, but didn't use that as a list for launching the product. Do I need to keep warm the audience? And the answer is yes. Keeping warm doesn't also mean so I've made this mistake in the past too. And a lot of it, first of all, understand this, you need to test for the market you're in, because different market, for example, the health niche, let's say that you're selling a supplement. You can usually send a lot more information, because there's a lot of good data you can find on things like, if somebody's say buying a weight loss supplement, let's just use that. Well, they're going to want dieting, exercise, health, all that good kind of information you can feed them. If someone's buying a spatula, the reality is people don't want recipes sent to them. You can try doing that. And we've done that. We've tried different things. But you got to kind of figure out the messaging, but that's not what you have to do to keep them warm. Little things like just giving them updates about your company, new changes, new benefits. There's so many ways, but it's just about at least once a month minimum engaging with them somehow, leveraging the list. They came on the list for a discount. The big thing is, don't be afraid if they leave your list. Now, you don't want to be hammering them with information where you have more people unsubscribing than subscribing. But you also want to remember, what's the purpose of the list that you're creating, the audience that you're building? It's to build your audience. It's to build your business. And so you can't sit there and say, well, I just need to keep everyone on my list. Well, there's so many freebie seekers out there that all they're doing is costing you time and money. So yeah, you want to be able to give some free information, but remember, at the end of the day, this is about building your business. So if you're not getting sales, if you're not getting reviews, if you're not getting any help from this list to build your business, well, then it's not working. So you want to make sure you're engaging with them enough so that the big thing with engagement is a couple things. Number one is you don't want them to forget who you are. Email is really powerful. This with ManyChat, like people usually have to subscribe for, they get messages right away. It doesn't seem to be so much of an issue, but with an email and how easy it is for people to just steal emails, you're getting bombarded with emails. And so if someone sees an email from you that they haven't seen an email in 4 months, they're going to be like, this is spam. I don't even know who this person is. So you need to keep your branding in front of them a little bit, just so they know, oh yeah, I remember I bought this product. So that's a really important thing. It's not just about engaging with them. So the fact that like you're giving them something informative, it's so that they can recognize that, yes, I know who this message is from. You also always want it to be of value. And this doesn't mean always having to give like 50% discounts. It's like looking at, I think there's holiday of the day or holiday of the month or something like that. I can't remember the website. I'll look it up in a second. But that's a great thing to do. Just look at it days of the week or anyway, it's going to drive me nuts.
National Pirate Day or something. Yeah,
like every day there's a different day going on. And, you look at the different days and find one, like, let's say, for example, it is, I'm not going to use the pirate one, but some other day that's related to your product. Maybe it's cake baking day. Congratulations, welcome. Hey, it's cake baking day. This is an official holiday. You give them a little bit of information. And as a result, we just thought we'd give you a 15% coupon. It doesn't even have to be that big. Just something that engages with them and gives them something of value. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just sparked a thing there in terms of, because, if you're doing a warranty right now, maybe it's also useful for you to say, well, actually, you can get your warranty from ManyChat. So you can actually have like a QR code on your insert. You can get them to scan it and you can take them direct to ManyChat. Or you can say, give them a link, type this in, this is where you get your warranty, and you get them straight on a ManyChat list rather than having to go through the email process as well.
And that's actually something I just set up for my new product as well. Put it right on my packaging. So yeah. And we'd be remiss to not tie up the loose end here and say, the next thing you need to do is set up a follow-up sequence to get the review. So you can do it by email and by ManyChat. So then you basically send an email and a ManyChat request saying, hey, now that you've purchased this product, X number of days later, do you mind reviewing this? And that's something that, when we talk about this and do this in our business, this is a key thing. The follow-up is that's where the money is. That's where you make the money, is in follow-up. If you don't send out that follow-up and just expect them to leave a review, you're leaving money on the table. Every single time. So you definitely have to set up a follow-up sequence, whether it's via email or ManyChat or both. And you want them to understand that review is really helpful for you.
Yeah, that's a big thing too. Like, and you want to test this, but the big thing when you're communicating with them, and Rob Casey, I just want to answer this question right away. I've never used it, but is ManyChat basically like an autoresponder? Yes. It's basically it's more or less like any email system, like Aweber or anything like that, but it's specifically designed for Facebook messengers. So it's called Messenger Bot, like Facebook Messenger Bot stuff. So it interacts with that. So anybody who uses Facebook Messenger, which is huge right now, you can engage with. So you can get them to opt in, receive free bonus downloads, receive information. And there's a lot of cool things you can do. We actually did a really powerful Prime Day contest where you can actually tie it into a database to confirm people's orders. Like, there's a lot of neat things. So you can give away bonuses to people that have actually ordered from your customers. And, as we talked about earlier, that's the one drawback from Amazon, and they're getting more tight-fist on that. They want to keep all their information to themselves and give you the bare bones minimum they can do. The problem with that is that makes it harder for you to be able to build your audience. So it's very important that you figure out ways to build your audience above and beyond that. I need to go back to the question I was originally going to answer, though, because I wanted to ask Rob. Where was I going with this? I can't remember offhand. Maybe I did answer it.
I think you answered it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. And then, obviously you've set up the review sequence, and then you can also ask them for any feedback on your products. You can ask them for any, it's market research, right? They're your customers. You can ask them for anything, any kind of feedback on the products, the color of the product that you want to do, the style of the product that you want to do. People love to give you any information that they can. Once they're on your list and they're engaged, they love all that stuff. Ask them questions. That's how they keep engaged. And then the other thing you can do is they've probably got mates that actually like the stuff that they like. So then that's a mate is a friend to anybody out there who doesn't understand what that is. And they can also, you can get them to like, share, engage, and you can give them little incentives to actually get other people on the list as well, right? So it's like a self-fulfilling thing, is you give them a little incentive to bring their friends, their mates, their friends and family onto the list as well.
And an important thing to note here, because I see another question, ManyChat's not that effective in Japan. Great comment to make, because this is not about just doing one strategy. This isn't just about doing ManyChat. We're just giving you one option for building an audience. I know I have a good friend of mine who is crushing it, Ryan. He's crushing it with LinkedIn, because he's picked one platform. He's targeting on that, and he's focused on building an audience with that. It could be Instagram. Instagram's another powerful one. Just ManyChat right now is really, really effective. So if you can use it, we're seeing really high open rates, really high click-through rates, much higher than email. But the point is, you want to just pick a platform and pick a popular one. But in Japan, there's got to be a platform that is very popular in that area that you can use. So
yeah.
Don't get hung up so much on the specific type of strategy we're saying. Think more of how I can take this advice and implement it into a different platform if needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially what we're saying is go where the people are and go where it's easiest to actually influence them to get on some kind of list. And if that in Japan, that's another platform, absolutely go for that. But go for the easiest option where your ideal client hangs out. That's literally what you have to think about.
Yeah, and there's two things to think. I mean, even using YouTube, for example, when you're building, so understanding your purpose of what you're trying to do. So let's say, for example, you have a health supplement and I'm just going to stick with that one. And your job is you want to use YouTube or whatever platform or Instagram. If your target audience is, your purpose with this list is to get leads. It's to be able to get people to purchase your product. That's the first thing. So you need to be able to figure out, it's not about coming up. Oftentimes it's really repeating the same thing just in different ways. So if you're building an audience on YouTube, you might say the same video topic 5 times, but just in 5 completely different ways, because the way people are looking for the audience. But it's about giving them value and leading them into something. And so like with ManyChat, you can tag people. So when you get people come into a certain sequence, you know that this sequence is its only goal. This isn't about trying to give them all this free value and educating them on everything in the book. I mean, everything under the sun. It's about just getting them to be able to look at my products and getting my offers in front of them. And then you start and then once they click a link, you can tag in ManyChat and say they were interested in this product. Now you have further segmentation. Oh, this person is interested in a spatula. Now I can send them more specific information. If they're not interested, well, then you try sending them other things. So it's about really refining your list and understanding what's the purpose of what I'm trying to do with what I'm doing right now, and being really clear on that. Okay, right now it's just about driving leads. Then you get those leads. It's like, okay, now it's about trying to drive sales. So really just focus on that, because sometimes we just get so overwhelmed, like I'm going to have to create all this free information. It's like, no. If you're just starting with a list where you have 10 people on your list, you don't want to be wasting time doing all that kind of thing. Your first job right now is to try to figure out how to grow your list. And then once you've got a system in place with a simple automated response system, that's what's so nice about ManyChat, then start trying to complicate it. But right out of the get, just stick with something really simple. I just see that as so many mistakes. People just get overwhelmed. They're like, oh, this is too hard. So they just leave it and walk away from it. It's like building an audience is what can just revolutionize your business. It really is.
Yeah. And I just wanted to say, this is definitely something that we put into the Amazing Accelerators, the training program. So this is, Lainey is asking, I use this in a minor way, but I like to know how to really push it. So you can use the strategies that we kind of detailed here and try it yourself again, But really, we know a lot of people kind of get stuck on some of the minutia, the minor details. And that's why we really put this into a full training program. So we can understand how to do it step by step. We even have step-by-step guides on how to do each piece of this process. So it really helps you basically take it from one step to the next without having to get lost in the details. And that's what we want for you guys. We want you to get clarity so that way you understand how to do this. And, I just want to recap real quick of what we already talked about. So we talked about the 4 main reasons to build the audience. We talked about the best ways to build the audience and also the best ways to leverage the audience. And I want to give you guys some action steps. So if you guys can take this action and try it yourself, you might be able to get this to work. Hopefully you don't get stuck on the details, but action 1 would be to create the Facebook brand page. Then you're going to create a ManyChat Pro account and connect it to that Facebook page. And then you create a ManyChat ad with a contest for a prize pack to grow your subscribers. And then, the optional bonus number 4 action would be find small Instagram influencers, maybe like 5,000, 10,000 followers, to help get in front of other people's audience. So that way you can really generate sales and reviews from what's already existing. And you don't even have to do all that work. You just, pay them some money, give them some free product or something, and you can leverage that in your own way. So, I know we have some guests that we'd like to bring on here. So I know there's a couple of other questions. I think the only one that I think I might've missed is Luyaba. I don't know. She asked, do you mean not to give a direct link to the listing? And yeah, when I was talking about the search, find, buy, I would not directly link to my listing. I would actually have them search it out on Amazon, find it and click it and buy it that way. It actually does a lot more for your ranking and visibility ranking. So yeah. Jason, do you want to segue into the guests right now or Q&A?
So what I want to talk about first of all is before we get into that, I want to remind everyone about the Amazing Accelerators program, that the doors are closing tonight. And if you're currently a seller on Amazon and you need to, you're feeling stuck, you're feeling overwhelmed, or maybe things are going, but it's just not going how you want it to go. It's not achieving the level of success that you were hoping for. That's what Amazing Accelerators is all about. And, there's really, we talk about tactics, we talk about strategies, and those are so critical. They're so critical. You need to be implementing the latest and greatest strategies and tactics into your business, but that's not what success is based on. Those things they help you get more traffic and help you get more reviews, but not if done in the wrong way, not if done in the wrong timing, and not if done without a proven system to follow. That's again what Amazing Accelerators is. Just in our private resource vault, if you go to amazingaccelerators.com/blueprint, you can see a list of a huge amount of SOPs, standard operating procedures, in other words, tactics and strategies that you're going to be learning. It's going to be traffic, inserts, conversion, list building, formatting, optimizing, Facebook messengers, profit planning, all those all specific strategies that you're going to be given that are proven over and over again to work, that are designed to help you build a better business with Amazon. So do yourself a favor. We're going to be talking for another hour yet. We've got a couple guests coming on. But if you haven't signed up for Amazing Accelerators, do yourself a favor. Check it out right now. If you're a seller on Amazon, this is designed specifically for you, by sellers, for sellers, with, there's lots of live support. You're covered by a great money back guarantee. Do yourself a favor and check it out. We'll get into more details about what Amazing Accelerators are in a bit. But before we do that, let's bring on our guests. So we have a couple special guests on this call. We're going to have more guests in a little bit. But we wanted to bring in some people that have worked directly one-on-one with Kirsty and Isaac to really help verify. It's one thing for us to sit here and be telling you, this is why you want to listen to Isaac and Kirsty. This is why you want to follow Amazing Accelerators. But we want you to firsthand from people that are Amazon sellers that were in positions where they weren't getting the results that they wanted. And after working with Isaac and Kirsty, are now getting great results. So I'll let you, Isaac, introduce the guests.
Yeah, so I think we'll first start with Michael. So Michael, if you would like to jump on the call, you can turn on your camera so everybody can see your awesome face. And we actually just we got to meet Michael in person just at SellerCon, actually, Jason. So we got to meet him finally. We've been working with him for a little while, and he's a guy that's now working on the business full time. And, we've been able to use him as a testimonial because he's done so well with this business. And I'm going to let kind of Kirsty kind of lead this conversation, but welcome, Michael. Thanks for joining us today. And it's good to see you again.
You might want to unmute yourself, unless Jason can do that. I don't know.
See if there's a mute button.
There might be a mute button there.
Mr. Lemons, can you help with
No,
that?
it was my phone. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, awesome, Michael.
Okay.
So maybe
sorry about that.
That's okay. Well, maybe you can start with, when did you start getting into Amazon, and what was your core goal as you started the business?
Well, I started on Amazon back in 2017. So I mean, my core. I mean, I had a bunch of goals written out, but my main goal really was just to kind of build a different type of lifestyle for myself. And so, I mean, I was working a corporate job. It's not that I didn't hate my job. I mean, I kind of liked what I did. In a way, I kind of do it now for my Amazon business, but that's what I was doing before. And but yeah, I stumbled upon Amazing Selling Machine back in April 2017. I think it was ASM 7, and so yeah, no, it's just that's kind of where I got started with this whole business. I heard about it, and I thought I could do it. I thought, it was pretty exciting when I heard about it. I had to convince the wife to kind of let me try it out, and because I knew I wanted to build something, and I knew this was kind of a good way for me to get started in business. Yeah. So. Mm-hmm.
And then we met. I think we met at another Silicon event. Yeah. And then we started to chat, and then, obviously we worked with you, and you've gone through some of the accelerator training that we're talking about here today. And I just wanted to understand from your perspective, what do you think really helped you accelerate your business by working with us?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, like I mentioned, I got started, ASM 7 kind of got me going, and getting started step by step to get started in the business. I launched my first product, and it went pretty well, but at the same time, I wasn't, I wasn't sure if it was where I wanted to be. So, I mean, I came out with another product, and but before that, I kind of was still not sure what this, if I'm really making money in this business, like if I'm actually, there wasn't really a lot of clarity in terms of the financing part of it, really. Just kind of understanding. I mean, the big thing was just understanding return on investment. That was one thing. That's kind of like a thing that I didn't really understand, and also. When I met you guys, when I heard about your program, it was really detailed. I'm kind of like a spreadsheet kind of nerd. So when I saw all the information you guys had, and I was like, gosh, like this is very granular, and this actually tells me, exactly what I need, to accelerate in this business, really, because once I heard about the kind of like the numbers behind it, it kind of let me kind of go at it even harder, because I knew I was actually working towards building, like the cash and the profit and things like that you kind of don't really know how to manage if you never ran a business. So it was cool. That's what definitely helped my business, I think, explode. Is just understanding, my profits, again, my expenses, and, how this business really works, and how successful sellers can grow, or how successful sellers can be, real on Amazon. So.
Yeah, it's interesting that, isn't it? Because I think it's kind of part of the business that it's not really sexy for people, right? It's not like a hack or anything like that. But I think from what you're saying is that once you understand those numbers, that's when you can really start and pull the levers, right? And really leverage. And so once you did that, like, how did you explode the business? Like, how did it go from there?
Well, I mean, I knew I wasn't guessing anymore. I just, you guys had a good plan. Also information in terms of having an aggressive launch, really going all out. I mean, what did for me was my first product, did pretty well. And then I came out with my second product, and using the launch strategies that you guys had kind of outlined step by step with the pricing and, kind of sticking on page one. And, because if you're not on page one, you're kind of not there. That's the goal to be, and not only on page one, but on the top of page one. And I think my first product, I was maybe like on page 3. And I was like, oh yeah, this is so cool. I'm on page 3, not really knowing that, like, wow, you gotta go to page 1 to really do well. I mean, you can do well on page 3, not think, because I was making like $10K a month on page 3, and but I wasn't where I wanted to be at still. So that's kind of what it kind of changed my mindset. I know I'm kind of going everywhere, but
that's good.
It's like the launching, launching that second product and really being aggressive with my launch. Understanding that, every time I reorder or pay my supplier, it's going to come back double or, a little less than double. So don't be afraid to make those payments. Every time I pay my supplier, I told them, I was like, actually, I get excited about it because it's like, I know it's going to come back even more. So, it's kind of,
it's brilliant.
And
so it's almost like
it kind of worked out.
It's almost like the confidence of, I like the way you said that, actually. No one's ever really put it that way before, but the confidence that when you're actually placing an order, it's not the amount of cash that you're giving the supplier, it's the amount that you're thinking about coming back, because you know what it's going to return. So yeah, I like that. That's awesome.
So I kind of just wanted to come in here for a second. So Mike, thanks again for taking the time to be on here. Really appreciate it. But, as for someone who went through, I'm going to give an analogy here. When I went to college, I hated it. I couldn't stand it. I was going through the motions, but it wasn't until I got into the real work world and then went back to school that all of a sudden all that stuff that you were getting taught in school started making sense. So, when you're initially starting your business, there's so many things being thrown at you, like build a brand, do your launches, all those kind of things. But what's your main focus? Well, your main focus is just getting your product up and running. As much as we don't want to admit that, that's exactly what the focus is, because really there's no guarantees with your first product. It's all just going off data. But once you get your product up there, once you learn Amazon, then it's about, okay, now I know this system. Now, how do I actually go about really expanding this and building a business? What did you find, because that's kind of what I'm hearing from you, is it's like you're doing all these actions, but it's like you're just kind of missing that connection of how to actually make this a real business for you. And that's really where the accelerator type thing helped you, is it helped you refocus and get back on with those specific, not only about building a business, but giving you the specific tactics and strategies you needed that you were missing. Is that fair to say?
No, yeah. I think you hit it, right on the head. It's kind of, not the kind of just getting your feet wet in the beginning, and just, it's all exciting. You obviously did the ASM program. You're taking action every week, step by step, and every badge, every milestone is just like exciting. Getting your first sale. I literally cried the day I got my first sale. like everything that built up to that, it's just like, I just remember like going like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe I sold something, and because there was a lot of effort behind it. You don't, like you mentioned, you don't build it in a week, in a day, in a month even. It takes time, and I think that's how. I think that's maybe what could scare people away, is that, building the business does take time and a lot of effort up front for sure. And also, yeah. So
I was just going to say, it's not a hobby. Like, you're building a real business. So there's going to be things you're going to have to learn, going to have to, and doing that on your own, trying to build a business totally on your own, that's hard. That's real hard.
Yeah, it's tough. And then you get it going. You think you're doing you think you're doing well, but all of a sudden you start doing, like I mentioned, I found Kirsty and Isaac, and they just, from, putting a better business mindset and perspective on my what I was doing in terms of my numbers and my profits, because now, like they mentioned, I'm doing this full time now. I was able to calculate what I had to do to get to that point. So because I still have my family to feed, I still have my wife, my kids, and one on the way. I can't just jump ship. And it was all a calculation, kind of like a math problem in a way. But I was able to accomplish it, and that was one of my biggest goals is to do this full time, and now I am. And now my next now it's like, what's my next goal? And it's just to keep growing, and that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna I'm in the middle of I'm about to launch another product. But just kind of growing it little by little.
That's awesome, Michael. Yeah, brilliant. Isaac, do you want anything else you'd like to say?
No, I mean, I think that hearing stories like this, I mean, when you I think I'd met you maybe in Orlando, but it was only for like a minute or two. And then when you actually came back to us in the next year, so like literally in like a year or something, you're like, in that year, basically using your guys' systems and processes, I've been able to go full. I now work from home and just do this. And you liked your job. You didn't have to quit it, but you did because you're like, I now have something that's my own. And now I have something I can grow. And that's awesome. I love
it was Vegas. It was actually Vegas when the last SellerCon, I saw you guys, and I met you guys there, and I told you guys, and that's kind of, it's all exciting. It was exciting. It was definitely scary to put in that 2-week notice. It's like, oh man, I'm actually going to do this, but I left on good terms, and they still, I'm still cool with them. It's not like, I threw my papers up and went, I quit. No, it's exciting knowing that I can, support myself and, be in control.
Yeah.
I'm going to blame Jason for getting my SellerCons mixed up because they switched it for 1 year. And I was like, oh, I don't remember what year it was now.
Had a few of them. Yeah. Cool. So did we want to bring on Claudia now?
Yeah. So thanks, Michael, for hanging out with us today.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So Claudia, if you're there, go ahead and turn on your microphone and we'll get you on here as well and make sure. There you go. So we can hear you, I think. Go ahead and speak, Claudia.
I am. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Perfect.
Okay, good.
Awesome. So Claudia, we kind of alluded to you the other day on one of these Facebook Lives, the person that with a little price tweak managed to 5x their sales, which was awesome for you. And so, just a similar question, really, like, how did you get into selling on Amazon? What was that like for you? What kind of dreams did you have essentially when you were coming into this business?
Oh, well, I started actually quite a while ago, believe it or not, for about 4.5 years ago in 2014 with ASM4. And through a friend that introduced me to it. And I thought right away, that's it. Because I've been looking for a business that would kind of support things that I was looking for.
What kind of dreams did you have essentially when you were?
Michael, I think we got some. There you go. Got it.
Yeah, so I've always wanted a business that would allow me to be free and to live wherever I wanted, to work whenever I wanted, just the freedom all around that this business is really promising. So I thought, wow, that's it. And I've tried many other things before in order to do this. So I went full in and actually got my first product. No, the first product actually was, we didn't decide to go with it, but the second one became a home run, right? And the first year being in the business. And so what happened, I was just so motivated, and I had a partner back then that I worked with together, and we took on a lot and just overdid ourselves in a way. We went to Europe, we created a Shopify site, and eventually I was doing it all by myself because she left. So I felt eventually kind of overwhelmed. That's I think everybody will have a point where they go into and I feel like it's too much. How can I manage all of this? It's just overwhelming. And then not knowing really how to run a business properly, which I've never learned, and nobody really teaches that. Even as I love the course, the ASM course, but it doesn't teach you really how to run a business as far as all the statistics go and the financials and all that. So I went into overwhelm, and I even wanted to sell it. And after 2 years, I wanted to just leave it and abandon it. And I kind of caught myself. I took it back up, and I decided, okay, I'm just gonna give it my best, and tried many different things here and there and strategies. You pick up all these things, right and left, and somebody promises this and somebody teaches that, and then you just want to do it all, and eventually it's just too much. But this is why I really love working with you guys, because you just brought it to the basics, really, and from the complexity or seemingly complexity of this to just the basics and the simple things that we need to focus on every day, and just rinse and repeat. Knowing your numbers, know your audience, know your client, right? Your ideal client, build your brand properly, and then just do that and plan properly. All these things that are so important, but are really overlooked a lot. And so that's where I am now. And I feel so much more confident and clear about what I'm doing every day and how I'm planning ahead, and what's going to be the goals, and having goals set, and then working towards reaching them with little steps. And it's just it's so much easier now. So,
yeah. It's interesting. I think just hearing your story there, Claudia, I think that's a lot of people's stories, especially when you've been running the business for a couple of years, where you can there's so much stuff out there now, right? You've got a great foundation course. You've got ASM, which is an awesome course to get you started on Amazon and get you started in the right way. But then I think sometimes if you don't have any other help or any other way to understand how do you actually navigate all that stuff when you're trying to scale the business. Mm-hmm. And I think we started working with you just over 90 days ago now, right? With kind of our accelerator course, if you like. And how did you find that process? Like just going from where you were, and then in 90 days, like how do you what's changed for you in your business, and what's changed for you personally?
Basically what changed fundamentally for me was that I didn't feel clear about what I was doing, and I was just kind of guesstimating things and just doing a little bit here and a little bit there, but not really knowing where I'm going to go, what my year-end goal is, and even not, in 3 months, what I'm going to achieve or want to achieve in 3 months from now. It just wasn't there. There wasn't really a concept or a system in place that I would feel good about following, like step by step, and implementing. So that's really, really critical. And I feel so much more confident in my business, and I feel I'm in control of my business. It was rather the other way around. Kind of the business controls me, and I'm like its servant that kind of has to go to work every day and hassle and day in and out and from morning till night in front of the screen. So I still work a lot, but I feel like now I know where I'm going and what I'm doing every day. And also, yes, it definitely has helped tremendously in my business, as I see it improving, like conversion rates, for instance. I've never really examined these data, these numbers, sessions, conversion rates, and how they really translate, and what they really mean, and how to work them properly, so you can work up your conversion rate, which then leads to better sales for even less effort, right? So all these things that it just, there was so many ahas and clicks. Like, yeah, why did, I mean, it's so easy, but it's just, you never think about these things before, right? So that's really critical. And I really love seeing the numbers and tracking them and just like, all right, I have all these spreadsheets, and it's actually really cool, because I've never, I'm not a numbers person really, and I don't like that necessarily very much, but I do enjoy it now because it simplifies the business. So I see a much healthier business, than I saw before, and sales too. So
that's awesome.
Knowing what the profit percentages are, and what the return will be, and all these things to see was just right in front of you. So
I mean, Claudia, that's awesome, because you literally went from wanting to quit, then within 90 days, having a business that you feel confident in, that you can actually start to understand how you're going to scale it. And you're also getting increased sales and increased conversion rates and that whole cool stuff. And you actually understand the key levers, right, that you need to pull to scale it even further. So I think similar to what Jason was asking Michael earlier, around when you first go through the process, exactly that point, you're just trying to you just want to prove this thing works, right? You want to prove that it works. You prove it once, awesome. Then you want to do it again and again and again. But then there's so much other stuff out there that you can get lost in the weeds, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so part of Accelerators, that's what we really focus on, is getting you out of the weeds, but also then building the right foundation with the strategies, with the right tactics that are going to accelerate you as well. So you get the foundation right. And then you also, supercharge with the tactics, like things that we talked about today, like ManyChat, Instagram launching, as Michael said as well, getting your conversion rates up there so you don't have to worry so much about the traffic.
And I wanted to add something as far as ManyChat, because I actually looked into that before. I tried to do the whole course because they have another training also just for ManyChat they're offering. And it was when I saw all these content there and the modules, there was so much. And I thought, okay, I have to do this because I want to understand it. I want to implement it. But then it was just, and I had questions. Things weren't really working the way I thought. Nobody was able to really answer me. So I then ended up giving it up. And so that was that. But I I did go into that. So going through your training about ManyChat really simplified everything. It just brings it down to what is really needed, what really applies to our business, and just do that versus the whole everything, and trying to filter out what's needed for your business, right?
And I just want to clarify, the original training you did was not with us, it was with somebody else.
No, it was ManyChat's training, specifically coming from ManyChat.
Yeah.
And they have this huge content base.
Because there's a million things you can do out there to grow your audience, to leverage your audience. But if you just simplify it and say, okay, for an Amazon seller, here's what I need to achieve, that's what you're going to get. That's where you're going to get the most benefit and the most impact and the most results. So it's great to hear that you've actually been able to implement that now as well.
Yeah. Claudia, thank you so much for taking time of your day to be able to share with us. This was awesome.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for doing this.
Appreciate it.
Have a great day. Bye.
Thanks, Claudia.
Bye, Claudia. Yeah, and
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Lubia has a question over there asking if Claudia runs her business in the EU or US, and I believe she actually does both. But she does have a German accent, but she is in the US. She's actually in San Diego.
Yeah.
So I wanted to remind everyone that Amazing Accelerators, what you've been talking about, what we've been talking about, is available only for less than 9 more hours. As you can see on this page, you can see my screen, right, Kirsten?
Yep.
All right, cool. So if you go to amazingaccelerators.com/blueprint, we also have the link in the chats. You can learn everything there is to know about it. As you'll see that it's broken down into 4 different modules. So module 1, so first of all, before we get into modules, I just want to remind you, what this is all about is helping people that are currently selling on Amazon get their business. And I hate sometimes saying it because it sounds cliche, but take it to the next level. That's really what it's about. It's about helping you take your business where you are now, whether you're getting mediocre results or even good results, but you want to get better results. That's what it's focused on. And as you heard right away from Michael and Claudia, both of them, they were Michael was seeing some success on Amazon, doing pretty good. but it's how do you take your business to that next level? Some people, it just comes a lot more natural. They can figure that stuff out. I'm not one of those people. I'm a big believer in training. I'm a big believer in networking. I'm a big believer in following people that have already trailed the path, have already blazed that path. Kirsty is one of our early success stories. She was an ASM member back in the day, and she's really refined a way to get your business, to help you get to that next level, which is this is all about. So there's 4 modules. In module 1, Kirsty, if you could share about what they get in the online web class.
Yep. So it's an online web class. It's over 8 weeks. So there's 8 specific modules, and pretty much going through that process that, Michael really talked about was, he was already at a level, but he really didn't understand these numbers. So that's pretty much, and Claudia talked about that as well. So that's pretty much what module 1 is going to be all about. So really assessing where your business is right now, and you really understanding your branding, your ideal client, and also how much money you're actually making in your business and where your gaps and your strengths are. Then module 2 is really about starting to think about scaling through products. So again, product selection strategies, but also really actually forensically understanding how much money that those products are going to bring you back into your pocket and how quickly it's actually going to come back as well. So we have a whole module on that, and we've got, lots of tools and resources to help with that, along with supplier negotiation, getting good pricing, and also great payment terms, which all helps with cash flow as well. And then module 3 is really what we were talking about today, building a rabid audience for sales and reviews. And as Claudia kind of alluded to, it's a very simple, but yet very, very effective. And that's something that we really concentrate on, is making it as simple as possible for you to implement. But just because it's simple doesn't mean to say it hasn't got high leverage. So that's what module 3 is all about. And also about using Instagram as well. We didn't really touch on that today, but using actually Instagram to grow your following and using that for reviews, not just influencers. Then we'll look into listing and keyword optimization. So you need a really good optimized listing to then be able to leverage traffic. And again, that's using, your ideal client. And we really concentrate on that because it's a big issue. It's a big area where people don't. And so if you get a highly converting listing, you can send traffic to that thing all day, and you're going to have that confidence that it's going to convert. We then look at the traffic side of it. So really looking at Amazon sponsored ads. Again, a little bit like building your audience. This is an area where there are so many myths and legends around how to actually run these things profitably, and also how this is the key area of your business. And it's not, guys, it's an awesome leverage point, but it's like this much of your business that you can leverage again for a big result. So we really break that down and simplify that for you so that you can actually run your campaigns not only profitably, but also with your own sanity. Module 6 is then really looking at amplification. So a little bit what we were talking about today also. So amplifying your sales, launching effectively. I think Michael spoke about that earlier as well, around how we actually make sure that you launch effectively, you get to that page 1 position, because that's where all the sales are. And then again, also using Instagram influencers to be able to do that as well. And then module 7 is about expansion and diversification. So this is one area that I went into quite early in my business. So I think I literally launched one product in the US, and then I went straight into Europe, and I doubled my sales. And then since then, I've been basically launching in both marketplaces. And it's a great way to double your business. We talked to Corey the other day. If you haven't seen that Facebook Live, go and check that one out, because he doubled his business in 6 months, basically by leveraging that strategy. And then last but not least, it's really all about scaling your business so you can get out of it and you're the CEO in your business, right? The only one way that you're really going to start to leverage to essentially build the lifestyle that you wanted to in the first place is by bringing in top talent into your business. This doesn't mean it has to be expensive talent. It just means that it has to be good talent that you can leverage to do the stuff that you don't really need to do or want to do, right? And we have one of our top coaches in the business. She used to be an ex-recruitment consultant for large companies, and she knows how to do this really, really effectively. And also engage the team so that they work for you and your business. And then last but not least, really looking at how do you drive predictable and profitable growth every quarter, year on year, to hit your goals. And then understanding, because at the end of the day, the biggest part you're going to get the money out of your business is when you actually sell it. So understanding what that exit plan could look like, and essentially what is your number for financial freedom. So that's essentially the online web class and the modules that we'll go through.
Cool. And then component 2 is lifetime access to the private accelerator community. And having your own community that is focused on the same goals as one another, being able to learn from one another, having mentors in there that'll watch for you, making sure you're getting your questions answered, making sure you're going in the right direction, having people that get other members that can motivate you. It's about making sure you're around people that will complement you on the path that you're going. And, one of the best quotes I ever heard is, you're the same you are today as you will be in 5 years, except for the people you meet and the books you read. And basically what that means is, by the education you're absorbing and the people you're surrounding yourself with, that will determine how you are in 5 years from now. So you want to surround yourself with people that are focused on the same goals as you, people that are focused on achieving the same success. And so that's what the Accelerators community is about. You get lifetime access to this. That means anytime you've got questions, you've got issues, and that's the same as module 1, component 1, the 8-week module. Once the 8 weeks is up, it's not like, okay, now you don't have access to anything. No, you get lifetime access. It's dripped out over 8 modules so that we can really focus on giving you that attention. And then you have lifetime access to the community so that you continue to get that support, network with people, ask your questions, and just continue to build your business. Then module 3, which is probably one of my selfishly favorite components, because for all of us tactic and strategy junkies, this is really gold, because you get access to some killer stuff. I'm going to let Isaac talk about this.
Yeah. And so this is like, it's everybody wants to know, like, how do I get this stuff done? So we go through the training, we support you if you have any questions, and then we're going to give you like all these, you can see Jason just scrolling down the screen there, all these strategic step-by-step guides, these templates, these spreadsheets. They're going to help you plan your business and start executing right away. So, Michael's talking about, and Claudia was talking about, these spreadsheets, these plans, these goals, all this stuff. That's all in here. And it's going to help you understand your business every single day. And you can see Claudia there, and you can see the screenshot of Michael right above this. So these are the people that are sharing exactly what they're doing in their business, using these exact strategies and these exact, spreadsheets and templates and resources to build their business, and not just build it, but grow it with less effort and quicker than they could before. So like what Claudia was saying, she was almost out of the business. She almost gave up. She came back into it, and now she sees the clear path to growing that business faster and more simply than ever before. So this is what we're talking about. You guys, this is the program that if you're sitting there selling a product on Amazon right now, and Lubia was asking, how many products do you recommend to launch before it makes sense to join the Accelerator program? Really one. Like if you have one online, you'll now know, okay, I've got some of these basics down. I'm starting moving in the right direction. Now you can grow that business by planning for it, by actually strategically driving these tactics and these strategies with these right processes. It's like when you open a McDonald's, like a McDonald's franchise, right? They give you a big old honking like resource manual that says, here's how you run the business. So go take that and figure it out. And you're like, oh, well, what if I don't have any business experience? Well, then you're going to get the business experience by actually having done a little bit of it already. And now we're going to give you everything you need to know in order to just drive that business further. So I really hope that, hopefully I've explained that clearly, but these resources are the things that we use in our business. And that's why we built them out, because we knew that we needed these all in our business. So we could move forward, we could outsource some stuff, we could, plan for stuff, we could build everything out. And it makes the job so much simpler. So, Michael, Claudia saying, we're going full time in this business. It's because they can start to plan and outsource everything and do all this stuff with the resources available to them.
Yeah, and this isn't about you just getting a dump load of resources that you get links to. No, it's about each of these, you being given specific strategies of how, when. It's not about just being access to something. It's about using them effectively and efficiently. Effectively and efficiently means not only doing the right things, but doing the right things right. And that's what this is all about, is we're showing you, they're giving you, they're hand-holding you and passing to you, saying, these are the things that you need to be doing. And as you can see with SOPs, cheat sheets, and this is the right way to be doing those things, which is absolutely gold. And I truly believe in my heart that these alone are worth the value of this, of what Amazing Accelerators is. So never mind all the other incredible stuff you get. And then the fourth component, which is something really is new and cool that we're doing, is the live implementation workshop. So
Yep.
Hear about that, Christy.
Yeah, so these workshops, they will be in Las Vegas. One will be in October and one will be in January. And the key thing that we know we're human, right, at the end of the day. And so what we want to do is not just take the information, but we want to make sure that you actually do it. And that's what implementation is all about. So the modules are there for the information. We also have, weekly calls that go with that as well. But the implementation workshops are there to make sure that you get stuff done. And part of the training is all about understanding what you should be doing in a year, and also what you should be doing in the next 90 days. And that's what we're really going to help you with is in the implementation workshops, is taking your 90-day plan and making sure that you get that stuff done in the next 90 days. So if you can't make it live, then we do also have a live stream, so everybody get access to the live stream. And essentially, we can also work with you through that live stream as well to make sure that you're implementing the right strategies for your business, and you will take action over a 2-day period to make sure that you actually get that stuff done. So we've been running workshops now for the last 3 years. We've honed in this process so that we know exactly what works to make sure that you actually get the right stuff done.
So you're going to want to join Amazing Accelerators before. As you can see, I'm going to scroll up here. You've got 8 hours and 37 minutes, and then this is going away. And the reason why we're closing the doors is because Kirsty and Isaac and I, we have to give 100% focus to everyone that signed up. So beginning tomorrow morning, module 1 is ready. I mean, as soon as you get in, you're going to have access to the welcome module. As soon as you're done the welcome module, module 1 opens. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central, we're going to be doing our first official kickoff call for new members. And then it's heads down and time for work, time to start implementing these things and really growing and scaling and improving the results of your business. So we're super excited. But that's why the doors close. And, we don't know when they're going to be open again, because right now our only focus is going to be on focusing on our students. So with that said, we promised you, so I'm going to close that and there we go. So we promised you 2 topics. So right now, and I don't know, we actually went a little bit over on that. We're giving you guys so much value here.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Do you guys need a quick break at all, or are you good to just follow through?
I'm good.
All right, cool. So what we wanted to talk about next.
Sit down.
Yeah, get comfortable.
Yeah.
So we all know that we just had a huge shopping season called Prime Day, which just happens to be an Amazon created shopping thing. And the cool thing about it, what's so incredible, you're researching about Amazon Prime Day, the overall effect of it is phenomenal. Reading about how Walmart, Best Buy, eBay, all saw huge surges in search traffic on those days too, because Amazon Prime is so big, it sparked shopping sprees all over now. So it's not just this Amazon defined thing. Amazon is so big, it's creating its own shopping day where other companies are also benefiting. The other cool stat is that Amazon Prime Day, so Amazon Prime Day this year happened to be a 48-hour period. Last year, it was only a 36, and I believe the year before it might have been only 24.
24.
Yeah. So they're expanding a little bit. But so Amazon did way better this year than last year, but they didn't do better just because of the 48-hour period. The amount of sales per hour increased by 35% over last year and over 55% from 2017. That means this year there was 35% more transactions happening on average every hour than every hour of last year, which is absolutely huge. Now, the thing is, if you don't know how to leverage Prime Day the right way, it doesn't really do much for your business. And in fact, it can hurt you, because so much of what Amazon does is about velocity of activity. So if I sit there and I don't do anything with my product, I might see some more sales, but what's going to happen if all my competition around me is doing price promotions, doing different things, and they get this mass velocity increase because everyone buys their product instead of mine above normal, well, then Amazon might start ranking those products higher. Changes over the next few weeks, and we've seen this in ourselves, that if you can really ride the wave of Prime Day, be able to get in there the right way and leverage it, not only is it's a huge boost for Prime Day, it's a huge boost for the coming time period after that, because you've gotten this huge momentum going. So that's what we're going to be talking about now. We're going to shift gears a little bit here and talk about actually some learnings about Prime Days and the key things, the key best practices that we know of for really being able to get the most out of Prime Day and the learnings we had from it. Now, before we get into that, I want to remind everyone, please, 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 if you're here right now on this call and you haven't already, can you please like the post? if you're on YouTube or if you're watching on Facebook, even on Facebook, maybe use the little heart. Love it. Let us see some love. Also, I'd love you to share this. We're sitting here giving you free information. We love sharing our knowledge. We love sharing. So if you could share this with others so that they can benefit from this, that would be fantastic. And also, if you haven't already, leave a comment with your name, where you're from, and ask your questions. If you have questions that you want to get answered and we can answer them, we will do that for you. We will wait until we go through our little training period here, and then we will open it up for more questions. So please, please, please comment, and share. That helps us out a lot. So Kirsty or Isaac, which one of you wants to go first with talking about this?
I'll give it to Isaac.
Yeah. So Prime Day, obviously we know that it just passed this year, and we want to talk about some things that we did in our business, just some simple things, but not like anything that's going to get you like shut down or anything like that, but just things that can actually increase and make you aware of how to leverage Prime Day for you against your competitors, give you that competitive advantage. So we definitely want to jump into that. So the first thing we always talk about is how to optimize your listings. And this is something that for any holiday period, if it's Prime Day, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, if you have a Father's Day gift type of product or a Mother's Day gift, you can actually optimize your listings on a kind of rotating seasonal or holiday period to actually get the most sales for those periods. So one thing that we do is, especially in the back end of our listing, you can't really put a lot of these holidays in the front end of the listing. Some of them you can, but especially like Prime Day, Amazon just redacts that straight from if you put it in your bullet points or title, they'll redact it. But you can actually put Prime Day or Cyber Monday or Black Friday or Christmas or whatever in your back end keywords. And that'll help you index anytime someone's looking for, a Christmas present. Here's a heads up. Looking at Amazon brand analytics for the Q4 of last year, one of the top, it might have been third or fourth overall, one of the top searched Amazon search results was for the phrase stocking stuffer. If you would have had stocking stuffer in the back end of your keywords, that would have helped you get visibility on that keyword. And if it's like number 4, and it's very seasonal, obviously, but if it's like the number 4 keyword searched on all of Amazon, and you have that in there, you might be able to get some free traffic just by putting that into your listing that you would have never got before. So that's why we talk about putting these things in the back end of your listing. We have some other little sneaky I wouldn't call them sneaky, but kind of clever ways to kind of get around some of the ways that Amazon will redact things as well. So like, for example, in the phrase Prime Day, I forgot that I left it on my product until now. So it was like 9 days late of like removing it, but I just had removed it. But we actually type Prime Day. So Prime Day into your bullet points or into your title, but they won't let you put it as spelling it PRIME and then DAY. So what we do is we capitalize Prime and then make the I a lowercase l, because it's just a straight line, as a uppercase I would be as well. So Amazon doesn't actually collect that as a way to say Prime Day, but to the customer eye, it looks exactly like Prime Day. So now it's not giving you ranking on the phrase Prime Day, but if you put it in the back end, you would. Now, what the customer sees is a Prime Day only special. So if you say Prime Day only or something like that, you can actually put that in your title or bullet point. So that way a customer is going, oh, well, I got to buy it now. That gives them that sense of urgency. So then you can obviously give a promotion on that day, or lower your price, or do whatever you want. But you could make customers feel like this is something they want to get. Just by having that one little technique in there, it creates a little bit higher conversion rate for that Prime Day period. So last week it was Monday and Tuesday. And so maybe next week it's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But either way, you can actually increase your conversions and sessions by getting people to click on and buy, because you're saying that it's only during this period. So that's two ways that you can really increase, your ranking, your sessions, your visibility for, search things. So like Prime Day specials, people are typing that in on Prime Day. And if you have Prime Day in your back end, and then you have Prime Day in your title or bullet points with the lowercase l instead of a capital I, you can actually get customers to believe and purchase your products because you're giving them a Prime Day special. And that's what they're looking for.
Yeah. And so that's like a kind of a cool little free thing that you can do, like just to like set that up. Another key thing that we would always say you do. So it's like pre, during, and post, right? Pre Prime Day, during it, and then what you're going to do post Prime Day. So pre Prime Day, get that stuff in your title. then also you want to start thinking about, well, setting up your PPC campaign. So getting more visibility, because that's what you want, right? You really want to think about, well, do I want to change my price? And this year, what Amazon were doing was, so you've either got the chance to running a lightning deal, which are very, very volume, what's the word? Not excessive, but a lot of volume can be shifted on Prime Day. I didn't have any lightning deals this year, but last year I ran a lightning deal, which I did like 5,000 units on that lightning deal. So you have to be, number one, prepared. You have to have the stock, obviously, but you also want to make sure that you're profitable before you run that lightning deal. But if you are, then you want to make sure that you can actually, optimize that deal as you go as well. So lightning deals are a good way of, running a lot of product at a small discount. And then there was also Prime Day exclusive deals this year where you could actually have that little tag on your listing. That's an awesome way to do a small discount. But then I think, as Jason was talking about earlier, so if you've been on the call for a while now, using your audience to be able to run traffic to that and kind of like pre-frame them, a few days before, hey guys, Prime Day is coming up. This is going to be awesome. And, look out for this awesome deal that we're going to run, and just get them excited that they're actually going to get that deal. So again, always a great way to leverage your audience by you don't have to do massive discounts here, guys, either. You just have to do like 10% off, even 20% off. It doesn't have to be big. They just have to feel like they're getting something in that frenzy of Prime Day buying, right? Because the great thing about this, and also probably, you can use these things for Cyber Monday and Black Friday, as Isaac said as well, is that Amazon do a lot of advertising. They're doing all the hard work for you. They're advertising this event, right? It's not like Christmas where it happens every year, although probably is now, right, for Prime Day. But Amazon are saying that, it's Christmas in July, basically, right? That's what Prime Day is. But Amazon are they're going out there advertising this thing, and all you're trying to do is like surf on the back of it, right? And so make sure your listings are well ranked. Make sure your audience is well primed, pardon the pun. Run some short discounts. Get the keywords in there that you can, and then optimize your PPC on the high converting keywords and make sure that you're visible. Don't do it too early, because you don't want to, that's what everybody's going to do, right? They're all going to boost up their ads like a week before, and potentially you're going to run out of a lot of budget, but you want like a couple of days before just to kind of get the ads to kick in. Just run it for that period of like those 2 days and go hard on those 2 days. And plan it out, budget it out. How much are you prepared to spend for those few days? Because you're going to run it on your most highly converting keywords. So therefore, the theory is that if you highly convert normally, then you should highly convert through that period as well. So you're kind of betting on the right bets. Yep.
Yeah. And I just wanted to kind of I wanted to mention that, obviously there's a pre, like you said, so there's a pre period, there's a post period, and there's also the during period. One thing that we always, tell people is, if you plan on getting these lightning deals going, if you plan on doing some of these sales promotions, if you plan on doing, Prime Day deal exclusives or whatever you call them, you need to order the right amount of inventory, and you need to be planning exactly what you want to achieve. So you need to set up when you're going to do a social media post. You need to set up, okay, I know when these these lightning deals are going to happen, or these Prime Day deals are going to happen. So I need, during that time, that's when I run a social media post, for example. So if you plan this all out, you can actually have this kind of calendar of just like, scheduled out posts or scheduled out emails or whatever, or many chat, like we were talking about in the last hour, of just, hey guys, just so you know, we have a lightning deal going on, or a Prime Day deal exclusive going on for this time period. Make sure you go check it out if you're looking to get this product at a great price. So that way they know that you're actually driving traffic, and you're getting yourself, you're not telling them, hey, go straight to my listing. You can just say, go on Amazon right now, go search the product or whatever, give them instructions, and you're going to start to really boost everything you're doing during that period. It's great for the customer, because that's exactly what they signed up for your list for. It's getting the great discounts, getting alerts about how to get your products at a better price, and how to kind of, engage with you on your brand. And if you can tell them this stuff ahead of time and you can plan it out, you don't really have to do anything on those 2 days. You just sit back and watch the sales tick up. And that's kind of what your job is for those days, is to kind of reap the rewards of your hard work up to that point. And that actually happened. You, Kirsty, I think it was you, Rich, and Mike McClary, Rich Henderson and Mike McClary were all sitting together basically refreshing your sales screens to see who was winning that day.
Yeah, that was a brilliant day actually, because we were just in the pub. And me and Mike were having a race to see who was going to win. I won, by the way. Yeah, it was very funny. But yeah. So
I want to add something on here too, because so this year, our Prime Day, we sold over twice as much as we did in 2018. And so I asked Kyla, who essentially does the majority of the work on my Amazon brands on Amazon. She manages most of them, and I work with her about an hour a week to make sure we're focusing on the right things. And this year together, she put together a plan that did phenomenal. And it's so interesting because it ties so much into what we're talking about here. So first of all, what we did, I'm going to give you the entire blueprint of what we did. So on July 5th to 9th, what we did is we set up ManyChat Facebook. So we wanted to gather an audience, wanted to hear about our Prime Day sales. We didn't do this last year, we did this year. So what that did, and it increased our audience by about 10% in ManyChat. And it was just targeted people that we were saying, we're going to be having some awesome discounts on Prime Day. Do you want to be able to save some money? Because there's people that are rabid at that time that know Prime Day's coming. Amazon kind of sees a lull in sales before Prime Day. So another thing that's really powerful, first of all, you take advantage of the audience, but there's this thing with velocity on Amazon. So if you know that Prime Day is kind of causing a lull in sales, well, what we did this year is we actually did a low price promotion to gain sales velocity before Prime Day. So from July 8th to 14th, we reduced the price of our product and slowly raised it because our theory was, and it worked very good, everybody else is having lower sales right now and they're not doing any discounts yet because Prime Day is coming. So we're going to offer a bit of a discount, do a promotion, and take advantage of getting more sales than everybody else to help our rankings get us into a better position for Prime Day. Then on July 15th, we had an Amazon exclusive discount on some of our products and low price promotions running on others. So depending on the profit margin, so sometimes, some of our products, the ROI is not as high as we want. And so Amazon says for certain things, you have to give a certain amount of discount. Well, we were realizing, no, we'd be losing money on that. So we didn't do it. We just gave other discounts, but it worked pretty good. Then on July 16th, we removed the Amazon exclusive discount on the products and did have them and slowly raise the prices as sales increased. So we did this tiered pricing. So let's say the product was selling for $30. We'd have it. We started at $18, and then after 25 units sold, we'd raise it $1. And you'd raise it slowly as the units started selling. And that gain, again, we had double the sales. We grew our ManyChat list, our audience list. But more importantly, we were able to leverage the velocity of the whole system, of the whole Prime Day thing. To right now, our products are ranking very, very high, higher than they were pre-Prime Day. And so it worked out phenomenal. So hopefully, I'm not writing that down for y'all. If you want, you got to listen to it because I just revealed it all to you. But that works fantastic. And so the one thing I see a question. So Prime Day is over. Yeah, but the whole point we're talking about here, and this is something that Kirsty said and Isaac both said, it's not just about focusing on Prime Day. It's focusing on, well, what other holidays? Halloween, July 4th, all of those things, like what are things you can do? Look at the calendar, do yourself a huge, and this is one of the reasons for building an audience too. Look at the calendar and see the major shopping holidays and come up with plans. Valentine's Day is huge. Obviously, Christmas is gigantic, Black Friday, but there's always these sales going on through these promotions that you want to be able to communicate with your audience and leverage and come up with strategies on how you can leverage them. That's the whole point of this. Yeah. And by having an audience, which if you were with us for the first part over an hour ago, where we talked about how to get virtually guarantee sales and reviews, it's about building an audience. Mm-hmm. And then it's about, now we're talking Prime Day, but really we're getting down into strategy. It's about building strategies that understanding the purpose. What are you doing? How does Amazon work? If Amazon rewards for velocity of activity, and as I said, as we know, well, if there's a lull in activity at this time, if I can increase my activity above normal during this time, I should get a benefit. And really looking at all those kind of things.
Exactly, Jason. That's kind of like the post analysis, right? Of like what you did on Prime Day, you can now replicate that across other key periods. So the next key period really in terms of, that high velocity is going to be Christmas, right? It's going to be Cyber Monday. It's going to be Black Friday. You know what worked on Prime Day. You're going to replicate that similar strategy for those key periods. So that's why, guys, it's not, Prime Day's done, I can't be bothered anymore. It's like, no, actually learn from the people that did well on those days. Exactly what Jason told you. If you missed it, oops, you'll have to go back and watch it. But, take that strategy and apply that same strategy to those other high velocity times. And another cool thing to do post Prime Day or any big selling period like this is if you've got access to brand analytics, which is Amazon's what would you call it, kind of keyword analytic tool, if you like. It's free. It's on you usually get it if you've got brand registry. The awesome thing about that is you can actually go back and look at what keywords were high frequency ranked for that period, right? So then you can use that in the following year to actually amplify sales even further. That's awesome for like those key periods that Jason was talking about: Mother's Day, Father's Day, July 4th, Labor Day. There's always deals going on at some point. So just go in and see, what kind of search frequency they are for those keywords, and see what kind of products are ranked for those keywords, because you might be surprised that there'll be some big products there that you think, yeah, well, actually my product will work well in that area. So you can, yeah.
So Isaac, let me just say this real quick and then I'll hand it over to you. A big thing to note is whenever you're doing these things, document it. So that's a big piece of advice. So for example, we were able to tweak our Prime Day results this year because we leveraged, this is exactly what we did this last year. This is the result. How can we make it better? So make sure you're not just blindly doing things. And that's part of what Amazing Accelerators is all about. It's giving you step-by-step blueprinted plans. And the cool thing is, it's like you follow the system, you implement what we're teaching in Amazing Accelerators, and then you make it better for you. You figure out how to refine it for your audience, for your products. It's not like you're handcuffed. You have to do it this way forever. No, you follow the system to get better results and then start tweaking it to make it better for you, but document along the way. I just wanted to add that. So go ahead, Isaac.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. And I was just going to say, you were mentioning all these holidays. If I just said to you, do you know of any kind of business that all of a sudden gets really good sales on something like President's Day, right? Like everybody knows that like furniture stores and mattress stores, they always do these like weird Labor Day and President's Day sales. And it's because they're trying to basically claim a holiday for themselves, right? And that's, you could even do that kind of stuff like, hey, it's Labor Day. If you're doing like a DIY brand, you're like, we're taking Labor Day back. It's for us workers. We're going to take a rest, but get some great deals on the equipment that you need when you go back to work or something. You can go build a whole message around that and really make your own kind of like day. You could build that day around a brand message, just like furniture stores are like, it's Abraham Lincoln's birthday, so we're going to sell half price beds. It's like, that doesn't even make any sense. Why would that be the case? But okay.
Well, and the website I was talking about with daysoftheyear.com. And like, if you didn't know, today's chili dog day.
Oh, I was gonna have a chili burger today, and I should have looked it up.
Sunday day, thread the needle day, plastic free July. There's all of these different things where you can leverage. International Tiger Days coming, coloring book day. Like there's so many cool things that you can leverage that you can actually, and what he said is make your own holiday. That's what Prime Day is. They made their own holiday. But you can actually create that with your audience. Like build it up. Just say, hey guys, in 2 weeks, we're going to be celebrating Thread the Needle Day. Start educating on them, building it up, getting it hyped for them. And on this day, obviously if your niche is related to that, then you have a Thread the Needle Day sales. So, anyway, I think I got my point.
Yeah. I just wanted to also pick on something that you said, Jason, earlier around having the post analysis, but also the post sales, right? Because if you do great on these holidays and you leverage the keywords like Jason was talking about, you can see an awesome kind of lag effect from that in a good way, right? And so I just wanted to kind of give you a bit of a story. One of people that we work with, she actually launched her product on Prime Day, over those Prime couple of days. Now, I don't think she meant to do it. She just kind of did it. But she thought, well, funny you mentioned plastic free July. She's actually got like an eco brand. So what she did was she actually leveraged Plastic July plus the fact that it was Prime Day. And she launched across in PPC across all those keywords. She just took her budget and she spent, she says, $650. Now that might frighten some people off. It's just that that's what she dedicated. I'm not saying you need to spend that. And then she literally ranked for all her keywords. And since then she's on Prime Day because she got all that velocity of sale. And she leveraged some of the tactics that you talked about, Jason. And then essentially now she's ranked for all those keywords. So that's an interesting thing to think about, is launching in these peak periods, because most people won't even be thinking about doing that. They'll be too scared to do it.
Absolutely.
And I just wanted to take 1 second and just be like, if you guys were not paying attention to this conversation in this part, we casually dropped in like a bunch of stuff, like so many, what other people would classify as ninja tactics or ninja hacks, ninja tricks. Literally, we just casually dropped them into this conversation. But that's exactly what they are. They're things that really smart, clever people will do to their business so that way they can prepare for these times where there's peak periods of sales. So if you can watch this again, take those notes, that's going to absolutely help you in your business this year, next year, and any other holiday peak season for you as well.
Cool. So we have a couple more guests that we want to bring on. So we've got about 20 more minutes max that we're going to be doing this. So hopefully, so I just want to remind everyone, if you're getting value, I mean, I know we're answering questions. Isaac, you've been doing a great job answering questions. Please like the post, please share the post. Let us, give back some love. Hopefully you're getting lots of information. Again, leave a comment. Let us know where you're from if you haven't visited us before. And the cool thing is, as soon as this call's over, if you missed anything at the beginning, lots of gold nuggets that we're giving throughout this, it's going to be all available. So if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube, as soon as we're done with the call, you'll be able to watch the replay right away. So with that said, let's bring on, I think we have Wally and Marissa. So who do we want to bring on first?
I think Wally, because he's been on here for a while. Are you there, Wally?
It's Wally then.
Where's Wally? Are you still there, Wally?
I'm here. Hi, guys.
Hey, mate. How you going?
Pretty good. How's things over there?
Yeah, not bad. It's sunny.
It's sunny, yeah. Well, it's a bleak Melbourne wintry morning here, so I'll go on and talking to you guys.
Yeah,
great. Some good conversation.
Yeah, so we've actually got two Aussies on. Well, Marissa is originally from the US, but she's also living in Sydney now in Australia. And Wally, you're there in Melbourne, and I know it's opposite ends of the earth because I used to live there as well. So it's winter there now at the moment. But thanks for hanging on with us and having a chat with us today.
It was quite interesting.
Is it quite interesting? Yeah, you were taking a lot of notes.
Yeah, I got a few nuggets out of that last conversation.
Brilliant. So Wally, I just want to understand a little bit more about your journey, so where you started on Amazon, what kind of dreams, what kind of goals did you have when you first started out?
Well, I started listening to this from the beginning, and a lot of the guys, I think it was Michael and
Claudia.
Claudia, sorry, nearly, and they touched on pretty much the same as where I started with ASM 5, and that was fantastic because at that time there was nothing else that I really saw or could see that would perhaps take me to the next level. I was at a point there where I needed something. I was working in retail, had been in the building industry just about all my working life, and it took its toll on my body basically. It was pretty heavy work, and I thought I've got to get something else. And when I saw Jason and Matt advertise ASM, and I did my due diligence, and I thought I reckon I can do this. And so I told my wife at the time. I said, "This is pretty good," and she said, "You bloody idiot." Yeah, another one of your stupid things that you're going to get into. I said, "Now listen, babe, I reckon this is going to be." Anyway, I put my money down, and I haven't looked back. But Jason, what it was at that point, it was good grounding for me. And as I went through the modules, and the community was excellent. I got my first $5,000 badge, and I thought, I've made it. How good is this? $5,000 a month. And as I kept going through the process, and I was hearing all these stories about you, Kirsty, you're making, a lot of money, shitloads of money, just I thought, well, there's got to be something else. I just can't get past that $5,000 point. And anyway, I tried all the other snake oil merchants and all those other people, and like we all went through. And then lo and behold, I looked and there was this thing, Kirsty and Isaac. I thought I knew Kirsty from ASM. Isaac didn't know a bar of soap, so I thought, okay, I like what I'm hearing. You guys were pressing all the buttons, so I signed up with you. Well, I've been working with you for a little while there, but what it did at that point, I was looking for the next level, and I definitely now I know I found it, because you guys showed me how to actually run my business properly. Whereas with ASM, that was terrific, because it taught me how to sell, but I didn't know enough, and at that point I didn't really understand how to run my business. But you guys showed me more so the business side of it. You actually taught me my audience, because I was just selling willy-nilly, and then when I got involved with you guys, you showed me how to actually create an audience, and I thought, my God, I've been doing it all wrong. The audience, that was one. Metrics, the spreadsheets, how to actually do your numbers, because numbers don't lie. You feed those numbers into those spreadsheets, and they don't lie. And it's telling you where you are in the business. So there was that point, and of course then, and look, the rest is sort of history. When the last time I worked with you guys, I had a goal, a 90-day goal, and I reached that goal in 8 weeks. I doubled my income, and it was terrific, fantastic. So, my journey was sort of up and down, but I wouldn't have given that up for quids. It's terrific.
But just out of curiosity, Wally, have you broke the 5K badge now? Got past that hurdle?
Well and truly.
Yeah.
Well and truly. Business is good. It's stopped a little bit, but as you said, Jason, there was a calm before the storm with pre-Prime Day, and it sort of affected us. But there was some interesting, as I said, there was a couple of gold nuggets I picked up from that. Thanks, mate. So, but it was good. Look, Prime Day this year. Last year, I tried to get into lightning deals, and I couldn't turn a stone there. But for some reason, Amazon saw fit to invite me on Prime Deal for both days, Prime Day, and I made a killing there, which is terrific. But and also, Isaac, what you mentioned about optimizing, that was my main goal, is to optimize my listings as best I could. I redid my images, my bullet points, and also the little tricks or ninja tricks I put in Prime Day. I've got Christmas stocking stuffer in the platinum section of keywords, search terms. So I've got all those here, and I'm assuming they must have had some sort of impact on my sales, but their sales were good. I really enjoyed it.
That's brilliant. And so, what do you think? You mentioned there about the business planning stuff, but then you doubled your sales in 8 weeks. Like, what was the key? You must have done something different, right? So what was the key thing that you did that was different there?
I think it was a combination of a lot of things, Kirsty. Like the time that I was working with you guys, it was all sort of different to me. It was things that I was implementing that I wasn't aware that I could do, and I think just little bit by little bit. Again, there was a lot of things that you guys taught me on how to do. Just with the audience, for one thing, I created an audience, and I've got a Facebook following now. It's fantastic. I've got such a loyal group of people, about 3,000 followers there, and I interact with them just about every day. We have competitions, and so you taught me that there was optimizing how to create my why I wanted to be in this business. You sort of opened my eyes up in a different side of selling on Amazon. And there were times where my friends they knew that I'd started selling on Amazon, but they thought it was just a little eBay sideline, and I didn't really worry about trying to justify what I was doing to my mates. But at one point there, they said, "How many have you sold?" I said, "I've sold 500." They said, "What, sales a day?" I said, "Yeah." That's bullshit. No. So I had my mobile phone with me, and I had Cash Cow Pro on there. I said, "Listen, guys, I don't think you really appreciate what this business is all about. It's not an eBay business." And I showed them my figures, and they fell over, and they said, "You've got to be joking." I said, "No, I'm not joking." They said, "You for real?" I said, "Yep." So, there's a lot of misconception about selling on Amazon. It is a full-blown business, but there's so many different aspects of business. There's selling, there's marketing. You guys taught me how to build my audience, how to optimize my listings. So there was like, Kirsty, there's not just one thing. There's a lot of areas there, and I'm assuming with the Accelerator course, so you'll probably no doubt to touch on all those areas.
Absolutely. So everything that you've gone through, Wally, that's exactly what's going to be in the course. And, the fact that Wally did it in 8 weeks, I mean, we're not promising that everybody could do that, but you're an action taker, Wally. You know what you want. So you're like, I want to make this thing work. And I think you can tell he's pretty like straight down the line. So
no filter, Wally.
No filter, Wally. But, you know what you want. You go after it. You get it done. You ask the questions. You get the answers, and then you move forward. And that's the kind of attitude that you need to be able to be successful. Get the right information, the right people to work with, and then just get it done.
That's right, exactly. And look, anyone that's sort of sitting on the fence with this Accelerator course, I know that 2015 when I did ASM5, and I think I told you, my wife said, "You're a bloody idiot." Again, another one of these stupid things that your ventures that you're going to go into. This one here I can vouch for. I haven't done the Accelerator course, but I've done the other bits and pieces with all you guys, and you guys are the real deal. There's no question about that at all. I mean, when I met you guys in Sydney, and Jason and I had a chat with you at Vegas, it was in 2015, I think it was. I met you there and we had a good old chat. And I thought, yeah, I'm home. This is it. Just had to tweak a few things along the way, so to speak.
Oh, that's brilliant, Wally.
It was 4 years ago now. Wow.
Yeah. It's there's been a lot of water under the bridge, that's for sure. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Wally. Thanks for coming on and sharing your story. Thanks for being with us for the last an hour and a half. Anyway, you got some nuggets, which is good.
Oh, no, I was interrogating my search term report, so that's fine. I had plenty to do.
Brilliant. Well, I hope we see you soon, because you're always a hoot, and it's always great to hang out with you.
I'll see you on Facebook. Don't worry.
Brilliant. Thanks, Wally.
Thanks, guys. Okay.
Cheers.
Take care. Have a great day.
Take care. You too.
Bye-bye.
Great. Well, that was Wally from Melbourne in Australia, if you hadn't worked out his accent by now. And we're going to bring on Marissa now, who's in Sydney in Australia, but she has an American accent because she's originally from Florida, I believe.
Yep.
We like to confuse people, so yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Marissa, how are you going?
I'm good. Can you see me? For the video's on, but it's not showing.
No, we can't see you.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, how you doing? Are the kids all right? They're not running around in the background today?
Oh, well, they might be coming home soon. Yeah. So that's just life, and that's how my business goes. They might be here and distracting, but they're out with my husband right now.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, because usually when we call Marissa, because it's early in the morning in Australia, so she's usually got like 2 kids on her knee. But like you say, that's exactly how you run your business, which is great, right? You've got to do it with the 2 kids running around you all the time. So, so I might just ask you the same question, Marissa. You know, like I know you're quite a new entry into the Amazon space, so just maybe tell us how you got into it. You know, what were your goals, and you know, how's it been since then?
My dad's calling now. Let me turn that off. Oh my gosh.
There you go. That's real life.
We are live, everybody. Yeah.
I know, right? Everyone wants to talk. Okay. So I came across ASM through you, Kirsty, and Isaac in October 2017. I had a 2-year-old and a 4-month-old at the time, and the day before I learned about this opportunity for training, I had said a message to the universe, and I said, "I'm ready. I'm here." Oh gosh, sorry, my dad. Dad, I'm on an interview right now. I've got to. I'll talk to you later. Okay. Bye. This is life. So yeah, I sent a message to the universe. I'm ready. I want to be first to market opportunities. I want to do something that I can do from home. I want to be home with my children. I'm not going to sacrifice these early years with them. I'm not going back to corporate. I'm not going to be stressed. I'm going to take control of my life and live it on my terms. And the next day I came across an article that was from you, Kirsty, and it was promoting ASM. And I was like, what is this? I didn't even know that you could become a private label seller. And I had just missed the webinar, and I sent an email to you and I said, will there be a replay of this? And you wrote back within like 30 seconds. And you said, yes, join this group and you won't regret it. And I just knew right then and there, I knew it was for me. So I went through the first few weeks of free training, and every day I was getting more and more excited. And I was like, this is it. This is it. And I've always been a bit of a, we call, between my husband and I'm the dreamerpreneur, and my husband is the dream crusher, lovingly. He's squashed a lot of my ideas in the past. So I protected this idea. And then at the end I was like, no, I'm doing it. And I don't care what he says. And I showed him one of the ASM videos with you, Jason and Matt. And he was like, you know what? You're actually onto something. And I think you should do it. So that was it. It wasn't a passion project. It was just, I saw straight away the opportunity, the numbers. I feel really lucky that I started with ASM and with you, Kirsty and Isaac, because I feel like I just got off on the right foot. I launched my first product in March 2018. So I've only been selling for just about a year and a half. And I like to throw around numbers because I know for me, that's what gave me, like, I could see what was possible and I knew I could then achieve it. I'm expecting to do around 800K this year. And awesome. For me, I did know it was possible, but I didn't think it would be this quick. And it wouldn't have happened without the support, the guidance, the knowledge, and truly investing in my education with you guys. So
that's awesome. And, it's interesting because, I think you've got the attitude as well, like Wally as well. But I remember you saying, I want to be at this level at this time, and you put everything behind it. And then you were talking about, obviously, with ASM, and then obviously you worked with Isaac and myself. And what do you think you said about the support. So what do you think was a key differentiator for you, having those two things at the same time as well?
Well, what I loved about ASM was I knew how to navigate Amazon. I knew how to get straight into the platform and how to execute. And that married really well with the mentoring that I received from you, from both of you. And it was truly around understanding that this is a cash flow business. And I've never, like, my experience, I do have a background in ad technology, so that had kind of helped me. I wasn't fearful of that, but I had never run a cash flow business. And so putting profit first, understanding ROI, and that spreadsheet is my Bible. I use that. I still use it every day. I'm constantly looking at it. I use it for product research. I use it to sense check my current profitability. It's, excuse me, it's just been like cash flow. The knowledge around that has been incredible. And I think it's enabled me to grow at the pace that I've been able to grow at.
Because understanding your numbers more, you can actually then, you feel more confident about placing. Because how many products do you have now in that time period?
Well, I have 6 now. So I just launched 3 more in June.
Awesome. Yeah. So you spent the time to understand the process, but then you had the numbers right. And so now you feel more confident in scaling and launching the business. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, another key area which I constantly go back to and is so important is around the branding and understanding my ideal client. And I know that from learning it the first time around with my first product, but time has gone by. I have to go back to that information. I have to go back to that knowledge all the time with launching a new product, with optimizing my listings. It never becomes old. That information is critical to my ongoing success with my brand.
That's awesome. Well, I think you've just done amazing work. Like since you've launched the business, you've kept moving forward, and you've never stopped really. You've always, you're like a little terrier. I need to understand this now. What's going on, guys? Yeah. So I think, from an attitude perspective, that's exactly the type of people that are going to make a success in the business. And then also being able to leverage, obviously ASM's knowledge, but also more the accelerator style knowledge as well, and being able to supercharge your business. So that's been awesome, Marissa. And Isaac, I don't know if you want to kind of tie it up here.
I just wanted to touch real quickly back onto the first thing you said about how you were, putting that message out to the universe of visualizing that you wanted something, you needed something, and you were going to get it. I remember the first time, one of the very first few conversations we ever had with you, you said, I'm going to be your guys' next big testimonial.
Yeah.
And literally within 3 months, you were on a call with us, and that was actually happening.
Right.
Yeah.
I did say that. It was part of my SMART goal that we started out with. And I said, this time next year, you'll be interviewing me because I'll have something worthy of being interviewed, And it was 6 months before that. Yeah, it was pretty soon after launching.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Marissa. Well, thank you so much for taking time to be on here. Thank you. It's just wonderful to hear your story. It's wonderful to hear how what I'm getting the most out of this is how you owned it. You didn't let the outside world, you knew this was right for you. And you took full ownership of it. And a part of that is continuing your education. I'm a constant learner. That's the only way you're going to continue to develop. You can't do this on your own. So cool. Well, and it's been a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. So nice to meet you also. I had a lot of fun at CellarCon.
It was pretty awesome. It was a lot of fun. Yes, it was. Awesome. Any closing remarks for Marissa, guys?
No, all good, Marissa. Thank you so much again for coming on, and you can get off before the kids come home. You're all good.
Yeah. You can call back whoever was calling you too.
Yeah, Dad.
Awesome. Thanks, Marissa. Cool. Awesome, guys. So here we are. So we're actually 10 minutes over what we said we were going to do. But I don't think anyone's complaining. That was some incredible nuggets that we've given. Wally, thank you so much. That was a pleasure to hear from you too. I love, as you can see how much fun. So that's something that we talked about earlier with Accelerator. If you're feeling stuck, if you're just feeling like the joy in it isn't really there anymore, you can see by Marissa and Wally's reaction, the joy's there. The joy is back. They're getting results. They're feeling so confident in the decisions they're making. And that's because they have access to what you can get access to with the amazing accelerators. So I want to share my screen real quick because I just want to remind everyone that this is going away in 7 hours and 49 minutes. So in 7 hours and 49 minutes, we're going to be closing the doors of Amazing Accelerators, which is designed for Amazon sellers that are looking to get unstuck, in control, and seeing results that they want to be seeing on Amazon. And Amazing Accelerators is broken into 4 core components. Each component designed to get you specific results of growing your business. And that first component is the online weekly, the online web class. And if Kirsty, you could share about that.
Yeah, so the online web class, as Jason said, we have a module that's released every week. There's 8 modules. And with those modules, you also get a Q&A call where Isaac and I will be on that call to answer any of your questions. So you can see, as Marissa and Wally were talking about, in terms of the support that they receive. That's exactly what we'll be giving you through these Q&A calls as well. So module 1 is really understanding where your business is right now. And both Marissa and Wally and our other guests really talked about, this was a crucial piece of their learning in terms of being able to accelerate their business, right? Because understanding the numbers means that you actually understand where you need to place your bets. And the other key component within this module is also understanding your brand. And Marissa touched on this as well. So you can never underestimate, understanding who your ideal client is and how do you build a brand around the ideal client, because that's going to build a solid foundation, not only with your numbers in the future, but also how you're actually going to market to that client, as we've been talking about today, through growing your audience. So that's what we'll be going through in module 1, and also about how to understand how to plan your business and creating your next 90-day plans. And module 2 is really understanding how do you then scale, right? So how do you scale through profit and cash flow? Because Marissa again touched on that. This is a cash flow business. It's an inventory-based business. So that's why you need to get cash back quickly. That's what module 2 is all about. And also scaling through profitable products that bring cash back quickly. And then using other cash flow strategies, like how you actually negotiate with your suppliers effectively. How do you actually negotiate for COGS and also for payment terms, which also helps you bring cash back as well. And sourcing smartly as well, being able to source your product smartly so you get the best prices. So that's really about module 2. And then module 3 is all about building that audience for sales and reviews. We talked about this earlier today. So if you've been on the call since then, all about that ManyChat sequence, leveraging Facebook Messenger, but also leveraging Instagram as well, and building your audience through Instagram. And that's, again, we take the simplest route with the most effective result. So don't think that this is a lot of stuff that you need to learn and do. It's very step by step, and you'll be able to do this. But if I can do it, like I said earlier, you guys can definitely do it. So that's really building that audience for sales and reviews, future-proofing your business. And then module 4 is all about optimization. So again, all our guests talked about this today. This is actually a key leverage point in your business that most people overlook. So getting your listing right, understanding your keywords and optimizing that listing really understanding when you actually drive that traffic to your listing, that you're going to get an awesome conversion rate. So, and then also using other tactics like using videos and live webinars and, enhanced brand content and all that cool stuff as well, giving you a competitive edge. Then module 5, this is like an awesome simplified Amazon sponsored ads. Again, this is one of the key things that most Amazon sellers get stuck on and they don't really fully understand. So again, we're all about simplifying that down, step-by-step processes, so you really understand how to leverage your Amazon sponsored ads and create profitable traffic through using that lever. Then module 6, you've got everything sorted, you've got your traffic sorted, and then we want to amplify your sales. So number 1, we want to get you to understand what the best launch strategies are, because once you're confident in launching, you can, really sort of understand how to really scale your business through that, and then also keeping it there and amplifying those sales. So some of those things that we were talking about today, but really that's all going to be in module 6. And then module 7 is all about marketplace expansion. So once you've got your business humming in one marketplace, the easiest way to double your sales is to go into another market. And we sell across multiple marketplaces, and that was the quickest and fastest way that I actually doubled my business. Corey talked about this the other day on one of our calls as well. And he literally doubled his business in 6 months by utilizing that strategy. And again, we break it down. We've been through that process. We break it down to be as simple as possible so you can actually implement it. And then in module 8, it's really about scaling your business through you becoming the CEO that you need to be. You are running a business, not a hobby. So you become the CEO, build the right team, do it in a cost-effective way. These are the key enablers for you to be able to leverage in your business to scale it so that you're not working in the business and you're working on the business. So again, step-by-step guides that you can actually, send out to your team, and actually leverage your team and really engage your team to be with you for a long time. And then really tying it all together, quarterly strategic planning process. This is what you need in your business to be able to actually understand what's going on in it and be able to plan for the future. And then last but not least, really understanding what your number is for financial freedom, because that's pretty much what we're in this business for, is some kind of financial freedom in some way. And one of the key ways that you can achieve this is by ultimately potentially exiting the business for a big payday. And so we'll help you understand what that number is and some of the processes around being able to exit for the future.
Very cool. So then the second component of this is the lifetime access to a private accelerators community. With the community, the whole point here is you're not alone. We want to make sure you never feel alone, that you get support, that you get to meet other people that are in the exact same boat as you, selling on Amazon, trying to improve their business. And one of the things I know that, as a business owner, I pay a lot of money to be part of other mastermind groups, other networking groups, other communities, because that's where you're going to grow. There's no way doing this on your own. You can learn everything. There's sometimes being on your own can be just so lonely where, whether the people in your household don't really believe in what you're doing, or, they just can't relate to the issues you're dealing. Being a business owner is a thing unto itself. And being surrounded by others who are the exact same as you that can help you, give you support, moral support, inspirational support, plus having professionals like Kirsty and Isaac and the mentors in there, hand-holding you, helping you, make sure that when you're struggling with something, they're there to give you the help that you need. That's what the access to the support is. And I want to make sure it's very clear. You get lifetime access to all this. So you get lifetime access to the 8 modules. Plus, after the 8 weeks is done, you get continued access to them. So when you want to go back and get refresher. Plus, anytime we do any updates to those modules, you get the updates for free for lifetime access included with your private accelerators community. Now, the next component, which Isaac is going to talk about, is my favorite, because this is where you get access to all the cool ninja tactics and strategies. So maybe, Isaac, talk about component 3.
Yeah. So this is the Accelerators Resource Vault. And this is kind of like, over the last 6 years, Kirsty and I have developed these brands and these products on Amazon, and we've put down on paper or into a spreadsheet or into some sort of template, basically, here's how you do everything. Here's how step by step. So when there's a training saying, here's how you set up your ManyChat flow or whatever, here's a step-by-step guide on exactly how to do it. So either you can do it, or you can get somebody else, to do it for you. So if you have a VA, a virtual assistant in the Philippines or something like that, you can actually take that document, send it to them, and they'll actually be able to do it for you. There's so many spreadsheets. Every single one of the guests today kept saying spreadsheets, the things that you guys have, the spreadsheets gave us so much clarity. We understand cash flow now. We understand return on investment. We understand how to process and strategize these things. We have a real business now. They keep saying that because that's exactly what you need to have. By the way, there's also all these great little, tactical things in here that help you leverage it and give you a massive competitive advantage. There's nothing in here that's going to be black hat. There's nothing that's going to get you shut down or anything like that. These are Amazon approved, essentially, strategies that you go in there, you build your business the right way, and you're going to get sales and reviews and outperform your competition using these resources that we've put together for everybody.
Awesome. And then the fourth component is the live implementation workshop.
Yeah, so we've got the information, you've got all the tools, but really we want you to take action. And that's what, the key component that, I think came through very strongly with Marissa and Wally earlier is that they're action takers. And what we've done is we've actually designed these implementation workshops to make sure that you take the right action for you and you do it in a 2-day period. Now, you may be able to join us live, or perhaps you can join us on the live stream, which the majority of people will probably do now. But essentially, we can work with you in both instances, and we'll be working with you live in your living room, and we'll be getting you to implement the stuff that you need to be doing for your next 90-day plan, essentially. Because it's about you, it's about your goals. It's not about what I'm doing. It's not about what Isaac's doing. It's about building the right plan for you and making sure that you get it done. It's exactly what Wally did. It's exactly what Marissa did, what Michael did, and what Claudia did, right? They've all got very different goals, very different leverage points. And that's what we want to do for you, is make sure that you've got your own plan that you can action and get as much done in those next 2 days.
Very cool. So make sure to join before time runs out. What you want to do is when you come on the page, again, you're covered by 100% money back guarantee. Click on your grab your spot, sign up before 7 hours, 39 minutes expire. And I just wanted to do a quick shout out to just today alone, Tom Golan, Joseph Zazara, Yakov Friedman, Shmuel Shedrowski, Jody Comment, Madeline Stokes, Justin Bowler, Hardy Hewlett, Yanni Lee, Aurangzeb Khan, Malin Santos, Laura Vincent, Hung Feng Lee, Sebastian Kaisak. I'm doing pretty good with these names, actually.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know for sure, but it sounds good.
It sounds good. I can't
Yeah,
see
they're
the
right. They might be saying you butchered it. Server Inc., Thomas Pratt, Ying Keat Wan, Jeremy Berger, and more. So thank you so much for signing up. Those are just people that joined today. We're super excited to have you. The doors close 7 hours, 38 minutes from now. Module, you get access to training as soon as you log in. The official kickoff call happens at 2 p.m. Central tomorrow afternoon, where Isaac, Kirsty, and myself will be kicking off. Really, the purpose of that kickoff call, because what happens is after the doors close here, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. After the doors close, it's just head down to work with everybody that signs up, because the goal is to get everyone better results with their business. If we don't achieve that, then we don't achieve our goal. So we're shutting off the distractions of letting new people in and focus 100% on the students that are in there to be able to get them through these next 8 weeks and beyond, to be able to get incredible results. And the cool thing is the timing is perfect. With the Christmas holiday season coming, by the time we get these things implemented, you are going to be in such prime position to just dominate this holiday season. I'm excited for you. Anybody that signs up right now, you're just perfect timing. Congratulations. And for those of you that stuck around, thank you very much. This was over 2 hours. Lots of content. I know Isaac and Kirsty are probably tired. I'm a little tired. I'm getting hungry. I've got a growl going on.
a bit hungry.
So please, please, please do yourself, do your business a favor. Take advantage of this. You're covered by our 100% money back guarantee. You know, within the first 30 days, you're going to know whether this is the real deal. Within the first week, you're going to know whether this is the real deal. You're going to get the 8 online weekly, 8 online web classes, 8 weeks of online web classes, which it just broke down over 8 modules. And the whole purpose is so that we can give you focused attention to get you through those modules. You also get, as mentioned, 8 weekly live coaching sessions. So each week you're going to get a live coaching session with Isaac and Kirsty. And the entire intent of that is for you to be able to ask questions. Make sure that at the end of that week, no stone is left unturned. You know everything that you should be taking action on that week. And if you have any questions, Kirsty and Isaac are going to be there. And they're also going to be there to continue to provide you with awesome support and motivation. You get the online community where you'll be able to work with other sellers, network with them. Your network is your net worth. And just have that support that you need, because you are not alone in this, I assure you. Then you get that access to that incredible vault of information, all our tactics and strategies, all those, and these are spreadsheets that are custom built, that have been, this is, how do we do this, figuring it out, tweaking them, figuring out, yeah, this is getting me better results following this system, really organizing and making it into something where it's so much easier for you to follow and implement and get better results. And then we've got the live workshop, where there's going to be those 2, both times you actually get 4 days in total of access to even more in-depth training, all designed for 90 days and then another 90 days after that, so that you can continually move forward with your business. Because we don't want this just to be 8 weeks and done. We're invested in your success. We want to get you to be the Wallies and the Marissas that are just rabid fans of ours now, because the results that you got in your business. That's our goal for you with Amazing Accelerators. The doors close tonight. I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to let Kirsty and Isaac close it off. So on behalf of myself and Amazing, I want to say goodnight to everyone. And Kirsty, I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah, thanks guys for hanging out with us for 2.5 hours. That's awesome. Hopefully you've picked up some awesome nuggets here. Go back, watch the information. And we're really excited to start working with you in Amazing Accelerators. As Jason said, we are starting tomorrow, pretty much. Get in there, get the information. And if you can, just make a start. Look at Wally, like 8 weeks in, and he completely changed his business, right? Michael did exactly the same thing. Claudia in 90 days did the same thing. You can do it in that time period. Just go in there, take the actionable steps. We're there to help you every step of the way. We've been doing this now for the last 3 years. So we understand we understand where you're coming from. We understand your pain. We've probably been there 1,000 times as well. But that's why we want to work with you guys, is to really help you leverage and accelerate your business. And I'll hand over to Isaac for the last words.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank, Mike from Huntington Beach. We got Ryan Beecher, Luba, we've got Laney, all these Errol, Deepak over in Facebook, and Fayez. All you guys have been here like on almost every one of these lives, and you've been asking questions, you've been interacting, you've been engaging. Lubia is saying, it's been great hanging out with you the last 2 weeks. That's great. Like, we provide this content so that way you understand the level of detail we want to get with you guys. And that's what we're going to take from here going forward and make it even better. So if you guys are going to join the Amazing Accelerators, you're going to find that this kind of level of support is going to be even better, because we can actually talk to you more about exactly the individual techniques and strategies and processes and all that. And, I saw a couple of people said they want to basically be our next testimonial after Marissa. So
Awesome.
that would be great. You guys, look, your results are our results. We want the best for you. Otherwise, we don't have anything to, promote. We don't have anything to talk about. We don't have anything to show you. If the Amazon business wasn't working and we didn't have step-by-step ways to make these processes better, we wouldn't come to you guys and say, here's how you make it better. The fact that it is and it does is why we're here today. So that way you guys can get the same results. So you can follow along, find those strategies, find the people to follow. And that's why we're here. So if we can work with you, that's great. Otherwise, I wish you guys the best in your business. Let us know how it goes. Keep in touch so that way we can see, and track with you. If it starts to become frustrating, come back, come message us, come find us. We'll be here. We want to work with you guys no matter what it takes. And we want to get those results for you as well. So thanks, Jason, for having us on these series of Facebook Lives and YouTube videos. And it's been awesome to see this, this level of group support and all these great questions and be able to hear to kind of inspire and help people get to that next level as well.
You're more than welcome. And we're going to close off saying congratulations to Katrina Hegarty and Teresa Spatch, who just joined just as we were saying goodbye. So welcome aboard. You are not going to regret it. Super excited. And adios, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.